The right to offend is not some pesky little part of freedom of speech that we have to put up with. It is the heart and soul and lungs of freedom of speech. It is the coursing lifeblood of human progress. It is the instigator of liberty and modernity and science and understanding. What a laughing stock today's student leaders are, that they can so casually dismiss the right to be offensive without realizing that their lovely, enlightened lives are the gift of individuals who gave offense. Offensiveness is not just something we have to begrudgingly accept. Offensiveness is the motor of human progress.
Now broadcasting from the Right to Offend Media Studios in sunny South Florida, bringing you the latest in politics, current events, art, and pop culture. This is the Whitfield Report Live with Sam Whitfield.
But giving offense is good. In fact, it's essential.
Well, welcome to tonight's Wednesday edition of the Whitfield Report, everyone.
I could see the intro and hear it that time, Sam. That's the first time in months.
Yeah, well, turns out...
I didn't even realize it. I was bobbing my head along to the music, and about 30 seconds in, I was like, oh shit, I could see the intro this time.
Giving offense is good.
Yeah, well, actually, on that note, real quick, shout out to the Rumble Tech team, because it seems like they actually listened to people's feedback on, like, the fact that studio premieres weren't working, and same with, like, some small things. So I gotta say, like, keep on doing what you're doing, like, fixing the studio, guys, because it does work. We're starting month 2 of the partner program, at least here on the Whitfield Report. But I know Max, like the Right to Offend Media channel in general, has had major success with the partner program. So,
yeah, and it's interesting. We've had complaints about Rumble. Sure, that's definitely a true thing. But it's funny because the complaints, even though we're not the huge channel, have generally at least been like down the pike, something's happened, which is a cool thing about Rumble. And then another cool thing about Rumble is that I'm pretty sure, you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, they don't have anybody promoting terrorism on the front page.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
That's
especially to like 13-year-olds. Like, wouldn't it be awful if you were running a streaming website and the top guy, and it was for 13-year-old gamers, right? And the top guy promotes terrorism. Like, it's bad enough if the top guy is a titty streamer. Shout out to Chibi in the chat. I talked to her a little bit. Shout out.
Hey, Chibi.
Always pleasant to see you draw by. But the titty streamer or the terrorist streamer? Titties and terrorists. That's Twitch now. Take your pick.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like those two would go hand in hand either. But somehow, Well,
no, because your hands would be full of titties. But apparently, that's not enough to stop Hasan from ravenously supporting. He's collecting and trading support for terrorist attackers and groups as if it was like a Pokemon card.
Even after terror attack happens in Boulder too.
Now, after and during and before, maybe even the guy liked him. Who knows, right? I'm not saying he did. I've not seen anything to say anything specific, but it wouldn't be surprising that a guy that hates Jews enough to go and burn Holocaust survivors might listen to a guy that also says that you should do terrorisms.
Yeah, and by the way, I do want to clarify something that has been misreported on in the media. The group that was attacked in Colorado, they were not pro-Israel protesters, like protesting against Gaza. there's an organization out there nationwide that is simply like gathering and fundraising money to bring basically
Yeah,
the hostages.
they're raising
home.
money for both legal funds and needs of the families and things like that of hostages that were taken in the October 7th attack.
Yeah, they're not protesting against Palestine, and so, but it's been misreported even in like the Denver Post, which shame on the Denver Post for misreporting on that, by the way.
Which is, I just want to point out real quick, before I go off, we denounce terrorism here.
Facts.
Yeah.
Like what this man did was a horrific thing. And I don't care what side of it you're on. If you can't point that out and just say this was awful, and it doesn't matter what his fucking cause was, then you're already a retard. Log off the fucking computer, bro. Sorry, I just had to get that one out there. Like, yes, of course. Like, who supports this shit? We've already done a stream, Sam, where I was telling you just a week ago that he supported the last terrorist attack.
Yeah.
He read out the manifesto. He laughed at it, thought it was funny. Hearts in the chat for the terrorists. Now, this week, this guy's throwing Molotovs. I will say this. Hasan did denounce it. He called him insane.
Holy shit.
Good.
He did. And then he said it was bad optics. That you shouldn't burn Holocaust survivors because that's not going to help. It's not productive. That's what he said. Burning Holocaust survivors.
It's not going to help the cause.
Isn't productive, Sam.
Well, yeah, that's kind of what Craig was saying is like Hasan.
No bad tactics, only bad targets.
Craig was saying on Twitter that like he didn't feel like Hasan's apology was genuine, and yeah, nobody because
it wasn't.
Nobody with a brain.
And it's because he's in the little hug box of Twitch, which, by the way, today's list is about top 10 list.
Nancy.
Top 10 list is top 10 reasons not to stream on Twitch this week. But anyway, that's number one because you don't want to be associated with the guy. He's praised. He recently praised. He said his favorite flag was Hezbollah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because it had a gun in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
just because it had a gun, right? It's not because they're a terrorist organization listed as such by the United States government, by the way, Sam. The same with Hamas, which is a terrorist organization, according to the United States government and the UN.
Yeah.
Right? And so Twitch Terms of Service says if you promote or support or even display quote unquote terrorist propaganda, that you could be permanently banned. Sam, I remember.
Hey, Dan Clancy.
January 6th, Sam, they banned Donald Trump, whose account never called for any violence against anyone and never certainly supported terrorist groups.
He didn't even go live.
They banned my stream on YouTube where I talked to my friend Luke, who wasn't even.
We're talking about Twitch, though.
No, but same with YouTube. I mean, YouTube was banning people.
YouTube,
for the same thing.
Sam, YouTube does not. He can't go on YouTube. I understand with the frustration with YouTube censorship, Sam, and I understand that you don't know much about Twitch, but you gotta let me have this one.
Sure.
This is what people are talking about, bro. Is Twitch, right? Is because they are supporting this guy. Do you think if you went on there, anybody, and said not only that you support Palestine, but you support Hezbollah on YouTube, you wouldn't get banned? Of course you'd get banned on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
It's only Twitch that is doing that, right? They know he's their top streamer. Imagine if you were the top YouTuber. Imagine if PewDiePie's not even the top anymore, but he's close, right? Or Mr. Beast. Imagine if Mr. Beast supported a terrorist group. Would YouTube nuke him from orbit or not?
Instantly.
So I understand. I apologize, Sam, but it's kind of like different issue.
Yeah, no, you're right. I'm not I mean, I've watched Twitch, but like I'm not like I have an account over there, but I never use it.
Right. And it's beyond just like the Twitch people, Sam, like gamers, like the Zoomers that talk politics, that they like not even political people anymore are talking about Hasan right now.
Right.
It's in iDubbbz and all his little posse of fucking morons. And it's because like we all know how you think YouTube is rigged, and that's kind of why I stopped you, because it is, but you have no idea what Twitch is like.
iDubbbz threw in with Hasan and immediately fucked his event.
iDubbbz threw in with Hasan and set the internet into a fucking blaze. Actually, if you really want to pinpoint it, it started with Ethan Klein's content nuke on Hasan.
So I know who Ethan Klein is, and I know who Hasan is, but who exactly?
iDubbbz is the content guy from YouTube. He's
the content cuck.
Yes, he is the OnlyFans cuck. Yes,
he's the guy I did the Sam Hyde versus iDubbbz episode on.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the same guy then.
So okay, Ethan Klein put out a video, and the long story short of his video is that Hasan supports terrorists openly, and that's fucked up, right?
Right.
iDubbbz then, not Hasan, iDubbbz responded by making a content cop video about Ethan Klein talking a whole bunch of shit, and he got like a whole bunch of the pro-Palestine Twitch people to support him, right? And they've been crashing out ever since.
Because it didn't go very well.
And as this is going on, Hasan's been getting more extreme, Sam. Okay, and saying more and more. There's a couple of videos I could point us to show all the extreme things he said, but quite frankly, a lot of the people that might come and watch this that know about this stuff, Sam, they've already seen it all. You've probably only seen a fraction of it, so I'm going to try and find some good clips to show you. But it's really is so Twitch ad revenues because of this are down 50 to 75% across the board.
Well, good.
I agree. This is good. They need a change in leadership, as Mortheus mentioned. Their CEO,
Dan Clancy.
Dan Clancy is a huge Hasan fan.
Oh,
which is why they're not doing anything with him.
Yeah. So whatever, Hasan got banned for 1 day for, quote, mishandling terrorist propaganda.
Which was his day off anyway.
He read the shooter's manifesto, Sam, and I'm not sure if you've heard the clip, but I told you had to name the title that, because he said that the shooter was, quote, genuine in his actions, but a little brain broken. His actions... I want to remind everybody what his actions were, chat. His actions were that he execution style shot 2 young people in the head. That was his action. So he was genuine in his action. Why did he do it? Because they were Jewish people at a Jewish museum.
Yeah, that's a little more than just brain broken. That's like
terrorism.
Yeah, that's terrorism
on American soil. And if you support that, we've gone beyond the point of free speech. The First Amendment ain't even going to help you if you get the attention of the wrong fucking people. You know what I mean? Oh, hey, what's up?
Hey.
Sorry. Hi, Sammy, Mort, Max.
Hey, Chibi.
I heard you talking shit about Hasan, and my spidey senses were tingling.
Well, hey, glad to have you back. Long time no see, and long time no listen.
I literally told him he was gonna name it something else, and I was like, "You have to name it a little bit brain broken, because that's such a good meme." And I
knew that immediately you were talking about Hasan when I saw this.
Exactly. Yes. He's not on the Twitch thing at all, but like, yeah, it's blown up, Sam. Like, this is the topic.
No, I I've heard bits and pieces of it for sure. You can't not hear about it, but like I'm kind of
Jonathan Greenblatt from the ADL has called Hasan Piker out on CNN, Fox News. Not saying that he caused the attack, but saying that like rhetoric like his, if you just let it out there, it does lead some people towards this kind of thing. And I agree.
Saying that, sorry.
And I was going to say, we've been banned for less.
Yeah, no, I did see that today, and my first reaction was, holy hell, must be freezing over if I agree with Jonathan Greenblatt on.
Right. The ADL goes after a right winger and they're immediately banned. ADL goes after a lefty and nobody fucking does anything.
That's usually the case.
I'll tell you this: like, there are people at Amazon that now know who Hasan is that didn't before, right? Because Amazon owns Twitch.
Oh yeah.
And I bet you the like corporate upper staff of Amazon did not know who Hasan Piker was 3 weeks ago. But they do now.
Yeah,
he's a problem.
Yeah, Jeff Bezos probably has no idea who. Well, he does now, and
he does. He does now.
I bet you anything. Jeff is going to ream out the Twitch, CEO.
And what Hasan doesn't realize is what a lot of people on the right didn't realize at one time, and they all got banned too, is like, just because you're the big guy not getting banned right now doesn't mean that you're not going to get stomped out, because guess what? You're just one guy. They can just, if the Amazon investors are like, hey, you need to do something about this one guy, it's real easy to just ban one guy.
They'll have a new CEO for Twitch. I mean, I'd imagine if Dan Clancy keeps, glazing Hasan like that, I'd imagine that they'll probably appoint a new CEO.
As they should.
Or that would be smart anyway.
They should.
Eventually, they're gonna lean on him, right? And they're gonna say, look, you're either gonna get rid of this fucking Hasan clown, or you're gonna like be out. Period. And they should, because he is like blatantly breaking their terms of service. What some people are alleging what he's doing is a crime. I don't know. I'm not a fucking cop, right? And I don't like the idea of investigating people unless they make very specific statements or something. And he doesn't do that. He's a big dog whistle guy. He should be allowed to dog whistle, but not on Twitch, because that's their rules. And they banned our girl, shout out to fucking, Core, right, Sam?
Yep.
His friend Zuli Tittles got banned for some bullshit reasons not that long ago, way longer than one day. And she doesn't support anything bad, ever. I promise.
They banned Esmongold for something like 12 weeks for saying Trogan was fat.
To be clear, that was Tectone that got banned.
Tectone, my mistake.
And it was for 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, for calling her a fat piece of shit.
I'm actually
the shoe fits.
I am actually internet friends with Zia Anderson, who admittedly is one of the titty streamers on Twitch, but
what a shocker that you're friends with a titty streamer, Sammy. I'm dying from surprise.
Sam, I've never.
She actually
shocked.
Funny thing, I actually knew her because I don't know how she.
Are you the top donor, Sam? Just answer that one question.
Simp Samurai.
No, but no, I actually met her through the Dennis Miller podcast.
Cool.
Even before she was on Twitch. But no, I believe she got suspended from Twitch for saying that Star Wars went she made like some very like plain comment and still got like suspended for a day.
That's what I mean. So many people have gotten banned for like the bullshittest ass reasons.
Yeah.
And that's why I didn't even stream. I stopped streaming on Twitch a long time. I'm an OG from Justin.tv.
Yeah,
right. My account is such legacy to Twitch that it's older than Twitch.
Yeah, I remember
streaming there very early on, maybe 2014 or so. because of they were already down this path. It's out of control now. But I thought, at least one thing I always thought, Sam, all right, but surely they're not having like people promote, I don't know, burning Holocaust survivors alive in the streets.
Yeah, no, that's.
If I got banned for this and she gets banned for that, surely there's nobody on that platform saying stuff, you know, like making fun of the fact that people got murdered.
Or endorsing CPS calls for no reason.
Oh my God. Yeah, the CPS calls, the skull.
That fucking threw me. I had to fucking, excuse my language, I don't care. Actually,
No,
you can cuss here, I forget. But it's like,
except endorsing
that
terrorism.
bothered me a lot. It's like iDubbbz just came out with a video, I can't remember if it was yesterday or today, that was called Concern Trolling. And it's like, what do you think the content cop was, you fucking loser?
Right. That's your whole fucking, that's his bit, is concern trolling.
Yep.
He's literally policing content. He's literally making videos called Content Cop. He's policing content. So it just, I don't know. Anissa, I feel like Anissa sucked the life out of him when she took his virginity.
I
was just watching a video today. Somebody put together a compilation and it was called something like Anissa abuses iDubbbz for 6 minutes, and it's just all the awful shit she said in public.
The fucking the pegging tweet. The pegging tweet. Also, she was telling on a freaking live stream about how he has IBS and he shits himself. She's doing a better job than anyone of taking him out from the inside.
Yeah. Before all that, Sam, I went through it on the Cringe Coffee House about this. Sam Hyde said right from the beginning, "Yo, she's bad for you. You should get away from her." And everybody's like, "Oh, Sam's just picking on a girl and all this stuff." It's like, no, he was genuine.
And that whole thing, the part about Donut Operator, like not being friends with iDubbbz anymore because he made a joke about OnlyFans showing off his meat where he would make steaks.
Yep.
And he didn't even mention Anissa, and then iDubbbz took it personally.
Yeah, OnlyFans is serious because my wife By the way, Sam, imagine this.
iDubbbz, you're a cuck.
I cuck.
Your wife wants to do OnlyFans, but she didn't do OnlyFans or any type of that kind of content before you were married, only after. What say you, Sam?
I would be like, do you want a divorce? Because we can do that.
Seems like you might want
to guys, go easy on iDubbbz. He just learned empathy at 32.
That's true. He
got learn empathy at fucking 32?
The only reason that he learned empathy, quote unquote, is because he didn't want people to be mean to him. And so he's like, oh, my content hurt other people, so I should take it down and denounce it so that other people don't make fun of me because it hurts my feelings.
My favorite is that he said, I want to apologize to the specific communities that I offended. And he was referring to the fact that he called people, Sam, and I'm saying this just for educational purposes, obviously. He called them nigger faggots, you see. And so who is he apologizing to? Gay black people? Or like what like he's like, I want to apologize to the specific community I offended by saying that. And it's like, isn't that just as bad as couldn't you just be like, yeah, I shouldn't have said that? But he's like, no, I really want to like make it right with the community I offended. And I'm like, bro, you're just digging it.
The 0.1% who probably doesn't even know who he is. Yeah, that
exactly.
That's a great plan.
To be cool with all the woke lefties now because his wife's his wife,
outspoken. That's a good word.
A hoe.
It's wild too, because I guess like a video just came out by like Rob's Media where it like goes through the whole like history of Anissa.
Watch that.
And like she started out as like, yeah, it's a good video. I've been like following this because it's been distracting me from my own life.
Well, yeah, like I shout out a couple of videos that I've watched because of this. Be like that Nux Taku guy, Sam, and I don't usually like the animes, but he's pretty funny.
I don't usually like the animes.
Yeah.
You're so old. Why are you so old?
Are you?
I'm kidding.
I got a top 10 list related though, Sam.
Oh yay! Let's get into the top 10 list. And
The top
Chibi's
10
here.
reasons not to stream on Twitch.
Very appropriate.
Everybody already knows number 1, but we'll get there. Number 10, titty streamers will outperform you. You know this? Have you heard about this?
That's true.
It's true.
Facts.
It doesn't matter
It's
what
true.
kind of content you're making unless it's a titty stream.
Just look at Cooking with Kaya. Have you guys seen that on TikTok?
No.
It's this girl that cooks like these steaks and big baked potatoes and these delicious southern looking meals, and she twerks at the same time.
There you go.
Of course.
So it's like,
Of course.
Sam's like, I'm gonna look this up later for science.
Number
Go on,
9,
though, sorry.
the banned games list. Sam, I was looking at the banned games list, and there's some games on there that are quite clearly should be on there. There's a game, and I'm not even shitting you, called Battle Rape.
What the fuck?
I didn't look any further than that's what it's called to realize, yeah, that's probably should be on the banned games list. But there's some others that are on there for the dumbest reasons ever. And I don't know. I was looking at like Hatred, the game Hatred, because it's like violent or whatever. And you can't play. There's a
My god!
there's a game
I just
about
googled
like,
it.
Big Trump. Why would you Google that?
I don't know. Curiosity, I guess.
Yeah,
So
because-
Battle Raper is what the game is called.
Oh, I'm
And
sorry.
apparently, no, it's fine. This aspect, let's see. Focusing on sexual themes such as the removal of clothing, the sequel focuses more heavily on the fighting mechanic, but it's like grappling, like sexually and shit like that. So that's interesting. All right, well, the more you know.
Fair enough that's why that's banned. There was some other ones. There was like some anime ones that had names like Semen Inferno and stuff like that. I was just like, what the fuck? Yeah, that's probably banned for a reason. Okay, but then there was some games on there that don't make any sense. Number 8, 3 minutes of ads, Sam.
Oh God, so true.
Yeah. Well, Max, that's why I never watch anything on that I do know about. That's why I never watch anything on.
I watch one
Twitch.
thing on Twitch. Of course, shout out to a friend of both the show and Bits Bones and my best friend Core. Horrendous.
I also watch Core. We played Payday 3 the other day, actually.
Yeah. I sub to him so I don't get the ads. But that's because I got Twitch Prime, and it's like he's the only person on the platform worth giving it to.
Absolutely.
Wait, is that one of those things that you get as like a perk with Amazon Prime?
Yeah, if you have Amazon Prime, you should vouch in your Twitch Prime and sub to Corethus.
I will do that, Max, because I've been
subscribed to him for 2 years that way, Sam.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been subbed to Amazon Prime for forever, and so I might as well.
You have to redo it each month, but it's cool because it shows up on stream.
Well, I might as well do something.
Yay!
I might as well do something. I might as well do something useful with the Twitch, Prime. So
yeah, right on. And anyway, 3 minutes of ads. That's fun. Number 7, no discoverability for small channels, and I mean none, Sam.
Zero. What's
Zero.
I specifically look for smaller channels because I like the interaction that they have with the chat.
Yeah, and so how easy would you say it is to find something suitable?
Like a smaller channel wise, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like I'd have to specifically look for it. Like I have to like search like the game or go down and look for people with like less viewers and stuff like that. They make the homepage all the bigger screen.
Search the game, then scroll all the way down to the bottom.
Yeah.
But they want to funnel you into somebody that's got thousands already, of course.
Of course.
Number 6, ad revenue is in the toilet for some strange reason.
I wonder why.
Gee, I wonder why.
No reason at all. Must be a conspiracy. If you ask certain people, it's probably a conspiracy, but I digress. Number 5, inconsistent terms of service.
Gee.
True.
This is one of my pet peeves.
Not to mention-
I bang on all the time.
Not to mention, I bet lack of communication on like the people who are making the rule changes and stuff like that. I bet like they clue the bigger creators in, because like XQC made that whole spiel about how the big creators like get banned on their days off, and they like can email or call and they'll like work it out on their day off or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what happened with Hasan when he got banned for the day. And one day is 6 minutes and 30 seconds or something like that. What a joke.
And so that leads right into number 4, inconsistent application of terms of service. So not only are the terms of service inconsistent, Sam, but how they apply them is also inconsistent. Isn't that nice?
Again, gee, what a shocker.
Right. Number 3, this is another shocker. Chat censorship. See, I love Rumble because we basically have no censorship at all on our chat.
Well, Max, this whole top 10 list might as well be reasons to stream on Rumble.
He sees what I'm doing.
Why not both?
Number 2, censorship in general. They banned Trump. They banned Justice for Zuli Tittles, another friend of the show that's on Twitch. God, like who knows? Numerous people. I knew people in my guilds back in the day. That's why I first quit. Actually, shout out to Asmongold because I used to be in his guild when he started fucking streaming. There's a couple of our boys from that guild that don't stream anywhere no more because they got banned back in like 2014, 2015. Twitch censorship is fucking awful and terrible. And my wife can't do a show on Twitch anymore because she doesn't know what it's like to stream with all those stupid rules. She's had a show where she can say whatever she wants, basically. Cause it's pretty simple to follow the rules of like don't break the law, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's not
Sure.
that.
Yeah.
Follow the Constitution.
Yeah. And so we're going to run them back. The top 10 reasons before we get to number 1, obviously. Nobody knows what number 1 is. It could be anything. Top 10 reasons not to stream on the Twitch platform. Number 10, titty streamers will outperform you. Number 9, banned games list. Number 8, 3 minutes of ads. Number 7, no discoverability for small channels. Number 6, ad revenue is in the toilet for some strange reason. Number 5, inconsistent terms of service. Number 4, inconsistent application of terms of service. Number 3, chat censorship. Number 2, censorship in general. They banned Trump. Number 1, Hasan Piker and his posse of retards openly supporting terrorism on the platform.
Although maybe that deserves.
Yeah, for Twitch, yeah.
Yeah.
That's like the womp womp of Twitch's entire career, Sam.
Yep.
Yeah. There's lots, like, they've attacked, because I added in his posse of retards, Sam, because it goes beyond him. The girl Denims has endorsed calling CPS on people.
Oh,
Yep.
she is crazy. My goodness, she's crazy.
He thought it was very funny, Sam, that they sent skulls to Ethan Klein, and they sent him skulls with all of his family members' names on them.
Yeah, human skulls representing his children, probably, and then the whole freaking yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, classic.
Yeah, because he's got
right?
the 2 children. Oh, and fucking Denims and her. You don't form memories until You don't form memories when you're 3. You don't form memories when you're 5. Like, she's a psychologist or something.
Then there's the guy, was it Mike in PA, who
Mike from PA. Oh, you
Yeah.
mean the super simp?
the super
The
simp.
one that
I
literally
showed my
came
wife.
and touched Bad Bunny.
Yeah, I showed my wife him touching Bad Bunny and then creeping out.
$5. How do you have hours to watch me, but not $5? How do you touch her and freaking
Like,
you look like
first
Jared
off-
from Subway. No wonder he grew his hair and his beard out.
First off, don't touch her, you fucking freak. Second off, what's the hand rub thing? Like he's like Gollum. Fuck. But yeah,
And then he put his hand in his pocket like it was never going to wash it again.
the funniest thing I saw was he was saying, "Oh, how do we get Asmongold? We call him like dirty and bald." And
That's hilarious.
it's just like, yeah, he says that. That's the whole joke.
All the shit that he admitted himself, yes. And the
That's
fact
why
that he's
he's
talking
famous.
about his mother is so fucked.
Yeah,
Like bringing his mother into it.
It's funny. I was watching some of that stuff related to the Hasan Piker, and a clip came up, and it said a friend gives Asmongold a wholesome gift, right? And so I was like, you know what? The Hasan stuff's so heavy. The terrorism, it's so terrible. We can talk about the attack itself too, Sam. But like, it was nice to watch this clip. I highly recommend it. So a friend of Asmongold's, after his mom had passed, had somebody take a picture of him and his mother and paint it. And he gave it to him. And I thought, oh, yeah, that's really heartwarming. You know, it's one of his real life friends that knew his mom, too. That's much better than listening to whatever they say about his mom, because as far as I know, Asmongold's mom was like great. I actually, she was in a guild with me at one point. So,
Asmon mom.
She was quiet. She just make money, man. Asmon's mom was always making money in the game. She had tons of it.
That's awesome that he had a gamer mom too. Like, you know, like
yeah,
that.
she would like make so much money that she would pay for all his shit too. She's pretty cool.
Damn.
She'd make sure to get, like, I'm not even fronting, like his mom was like the guild mom too, because she would make sure we had potions and feasts for the raids and stuff.
That's cool.
Did everybody eat?
Yeah. Yeah. So, like legitimately, when I heard that she passed, I believe it was last year, I was legitimately sad. And also, losing a parent is always rough, you know.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, seeing people talk dirty about this stuff with his mom, it's like, fuck you. Like these people are such children. They run roughshod over that platform. They're able to talk about. So, okay, the terror attack that happened in Boulder, Sam, obviously you have ties to Colorado. So I want to kind of hear what you think about it. But so this man, I'm going to say gentleman for the purposes of being this guy.
Generous.
This guy decided that it would be a good idea.
This fucking loser.
Burn people alive with Molotov cocktails. And I've heard a flamethrower, but I haven't seen anything like that. I know that he definitely threw some type of firebomb at human beings, you know, Holocaust survivor in one case. Older people mostly, and a couple of children. I don't know. I don't believe anybody died, thank God. But
not for lack of trying.
And then he screamed about free Palestine until the cops took him in, and that's what happened essentially.
It's like the shooter.
All I've been able to gather that's been confirmed is that there's one woman who was severely burned, who was
an 87-year-old Holocaust survivor.
Yeah, it's as
if she didn't fucking go through enough.
I know. And it's like the evil irony is not on an accident either.
And as far as I know, like she's alive right now, but like, you know, obviously, like unfortunately she was on fire, so she's in the hospital, and it's very touch and go. Obviously, obviously prayers for her, and I mean, my God, to be 87 and like have to deal with like third-degree burns and that,
because
stuff.
you care about hostages too. That's what it literally was. And like most of the old people, they weren't even like it's like called run for their lives.
Run for their lives.
Yeah.
That's ironic.
They're old. They were there to support the people running.
Well, run for their lives. They have multiple chapters across the country, and we have a local farmers market here where we're at, and like at the beginning of every month, and they always show up with just like kind of like the Salvation Army, and if you can give like $1 or $2, that's literally all they ask. I've actually stopped and talked to them. They don't take a stance of Israel needs to take action against Palestine.
Nobody takes that fucking. That's the thing, is they paint it
It's so wild. Yeah.
This is the problem that people have with Hasan, Sam, and why he's a hot button among gamers, is that he basically has said, in regards to this, he said that that people who are Zionists, quote unquote, in his words, are a fair target. Sam, wouldn't you say like 99% of Americans fall under that category if you define it as anybody that thinks Israel has the right to exist?
Yeah, I would say that. I would say, with the exception of like my friend Etna, who I had on the show, like she has called for action against like Hamas and Palestine, but like also
have called for an end to terrorism.
Well, and she's
that's what she said.
Well, yeah, and she
was because they frame it as the same thing as saying kill the women and children. And I guarantee you, she would never say such a thing. That's the opposite of what she was saying while she was.
And also she lives in Israel, so
right.
it is a little different because it is literally.
I bet it's more personal.
It is in her backyard, like her.
But no, she was very, very measured about what she said. And then you have this guy in America supporting it's. We're not even talking about action in Israel or Palestine anymore, Sam. We're talking about U.S. soil.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, Noah Samson.
And I want to point out that
Go ahead.
Hasan had said specifically a quote that was that Palestinians have only engaged in quote unquote direct action in the Palestinian homeland, and he challenged that person that he was talking to at the time, this was yesterday, to name an instance where that's not true. Sam, do you know who Sirhan is?
Yes, I do.
What did he do, Sam?
He assassinated Robert Kennedy Sr.
What group was he a member of, Sam?
The PLO.
What's that stand for?
Basically Hamas, the Palestinian Liberation Organization, which was...
Is that a Palestinian fighter engaging in quote-unquote direct action outside of the Palestinian homeland?
Oh, yeah.
Then shut the fuck up, Hasan Piker.
I appreciate you guys dumbing it down for the normies. I honestly had no idea what you guys were talking about for a second, so I appreciate it.
I want to explain. Has there been direct action by Palestinians outside of fucking Palestine? Absolutely. There's a thing called the fucking Iran hostage crisis. You heard of that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's when the PLO, the Palestinian Liberation Organization, which has since changed its name to Hamas, kidnapped a bunch of people from the Olympics.
Holy shit, you're kidding.
Including U.S. citizens, and held them until Ronald Reagan came in as president because they knew he was going to bomb the shit out of them.
Yeah, Jimmy Carter did fuck all to help the hostages, and Reagan
I will not stand by and allow this unfucking challenged narrative that like Palestinians and specifically the PLO and Hamas have not engaged in terrorism worldwide for the last 50 fucking years. That is an insane statement to make. And it is exactly why I say he not only endorses them, he's dog whistling to these motherfuckers to do more of this shit, Sam. He wants it. He even the other day he had bad empanadas on talking about how they think that we needed an IRA style organization on American soil representing Palestine.
Lord.
I did see that, and I mean, Max, as
If you and I said this, Sam, we'd be picked up by the fucking feds.
oh yeah, I mean, even my friends in the college Republicans have been like questioned just for saying like anti-Biden stuff by the FBI. And so yeah, like
I'm not calling for him to be put in jail. I don't even necessarily think banning him on Twitch would work anymore. Twitch needs to structurally change itself to not support this shit, or it's gonna die. And I don't fucking care. I root for it.
Yep.
I don't think that banning would work either, but I will say that, like, you know, as Elon likes to say, freedom of speech, but maybe not freedom of reach in this case.
Well, hey, no, it's even simpler than that, because like people would be like, oh, but Max, you're basically a extremist on free speech. I am. However, there's a thing of like, if I'm gonna have a guy like Hasan, I run a streaming site now, Sam. You, me, anybody. It's a hypothetical. You run the streaming site, okay?
Right.
Do you want to associate your name and brand when now Jonathan Greenblatt from the ADL is going on mainstream media and saying that your site is helping to incite terrorism on American soil against Jewish people?
No, we don't want that.
No. That's why he's not going to have anywhere to stream. It's not even freedom of reach that's the problem. It's I don't want your shit on my shit.
Well, and the one thing I'd like to point out. The one thing I'd like to point out, this is the same problem that Gab had, is that, like, you know, Gab, as a potential alternative for Twitter at the time, I mean, yeah, their tech might have been good, but the problem is you go on the front page, and the first thing you see is like literally all these literal like Nazis,
yeah.
You know,
because the problem is when your site fosters the purity spiraling extremism, left, right, doesn't matter, completely divorced from any politics, whatever flavor of extremism it is, extremism in a bubble put off to the side plays a game where they purity spiral against who's the more extreme and who's the most and who's the most and who's the most.
Yeah.
And every single time that happens, it results in disaster, because even if it's mostly reasonable people or just silly people arguing about stupid, inane bullshit that doesn't matter, one mentally ill guy thinks this is the world. And that's all it takes.
Yeah.
And now Hasan has told that one mentally ill guy, I'm gonna say that you're genuine in your actions too. Oh, I can
a little bit brain broken.
But a little bit brain broken, which is what Twitch is. I think that's a good metaphor for Twitch. And now Sam,
genuine in their motivations, but a little bit brain broken.
And a little bit brain broken.
Yeah.
Now, Rumble might not have everything all the time perfect, but man, I've felt great since we've been streaming exclusively here, Sam. And as part of the creator program, they've treated us pretty well.
Oh yeah, I mean, heck, we've both made money.
Yeah, and I've said some wild shit.
Yeah, but I mean, you've said some wild shit, and so have I, but like neither of us have endorsed terrorism.
Well, I mean,
nor would we.
It's like, yeah, good, like more you and Sam you guys are all right. Like, coming from a perspective of someone who doesn't often get involved in the political, as much. Like, you guys know me, I'm not an extremist by any means.
Yeah.
But the fact that this is so mainstream that I hate to use the term, but normies like me are starting to like get clued in. It's just freaking wild.
It's become beyond just a political argument, and Hasan doesn't realize this. It's not a political argument.
It's not about freedom of speech. It's about
you're a lolcow. That's why. It's so, what he's saying is so insane that people are watching it for entertainment purposes.
It's like you're free to say the word fire, but you're not free to say the word fire in a full theater because somebody could get hurt. So you're going to get in trouble for that. If you're inciting radicals, then you should get action for that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Words are hard.
Exactly.
And I want to point out, Sam, I got a ballad for you that Hasan Piker should hear. Okay, it's called "The Ballad of Chris Cantwell." And it goes a little something like, purity spiraling extremism makes you a loser. The end.
That's like the shortest ballad ever, but that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, is so he started doing exactly the same stuff. He was calling for violence because it got him attention and it was edgy, right? And then what happens, Sam, is you have to continue to fucking up the ante. That's what entertainment is. So when you choose your entertainment persona to be that fucking extreme, there's only one way to go. You either have to call for even more terrorism, or you have to turn into Gigi Allen and start eating feces.
Oh, Lord.
God.
And it seems like
his fans are crazy too. That one chick that was like, "Don't drink it. Well, don't drink it on stream. Put it in a glass." You know, moral grandstanding. Let's go.
Oh God.
Streaming on Twitch is a race to the bottom. TikTok too. I'm not gonna lie, TikTok too. But Twitch really has it's just got this homegrown quality of like cringe corporate crap slopped over Hasan literally glazing terrorists.
By the way, Max, speaking of TikTok, the clip of you challenging what's his face? Andrew Tate to a fight. Speaking of another asshole.
Oh my goodness.
That little clip is my highest viewed clip on TikTok. And
that's hilarious.
It's all Andrew Tate fanboys being like, "Oh,
your wife is gonna kill you."
Well, I wish your friend Max would fight Andrew Tate, and it's like, all right, well, get on the phone.
That's right.
How old is Andrew Tate?
Throw Hasan Piker in the mix now.
And Sam Hyde, tag team, let's go.
Well, there you go.
You know that Sam Hyde would give anything to punch Hasan Piker in the face.
No, I have to promise that Sam Hyde won't be there because otherwise he won't show up. However,
and then bring Destiny, and then just surprisingly bring Sam Hyde and Destiny, just every one of Hasan's.
No. Samuel El Haido. He's a Mexican wrestler in a mask.
Yes.
Samuel Haido. My goodness. Oh, that's funny.
No, but Hasan acts like he's a big tough guy. Isn't he 5'8"?
He's pretty tall.
Oh.
I'm
not sure how tall he is, but I'm pretty sure he's at least 6 foot.
So Max, you said you had some clips that you wanted me to react to.
We had the other thing. So I want you to watch this video. It's actually a shoe on head video, Sam. And the reason is because it's about a recent anime that came out and the reaction to it from a lot of feminist women. And it's because the movie is about a disabled woman in a wheelchair and a young man falling in love. They're both in their early 20s. I know,
6'3",
anime, everybody wants to know how old they are. They are both of not only legal, but normal age to tell that type of story. And so it's very wholesome. There's no sex or anything like that. It's just a young
couple. Takes her out to the ocean.
Yeah. So at the end, her dream is to go to the ocean. So he literally carries her in his arms into the ocean just so that she gets to experience that. And it's very sweet. And a lot of people were really digging it. And then feminists Twitter found it. And so I'm going to send you the link right now on Twitter, Sam, to the video, because it's about, wheelchair related stuff. So I figure,
yeah.
you guys would have a perspective on it at least. And you guys always talk about like this is why I wanted to, especially is you guys always talk about from your perspective, obviously as guys, but the movie's about a girl in a wheelchair's dating experience, which would be a little different.
I'll provide the girl's perspective too.
There we go. And while you set it up, Sam, I did have a question for you and Mortheus about that very thing. Is would you guys consider a relationship with a girl who is in a wheelchair, acknowledging the fact that there's practical issues involved, right?
I for one would consider and have, but like the issue is like it wouldn't be
really hard to make that work practically. I totally get that.
It wouldn't be practical. So
yeah. And it's not that necessarily you need somebody to take care of you in a relationship sense. It's that you both would not complement each other's needs in such a way that it would actually complicate things.
Right.
Yeah.
And actually, I take it even further. I've actually had people in the past suggest to me, "Mort, you should date a girl like you." I'm like, no. Like, I would consider it.
What, like a nerd? Oh, you mean? Oh, okay.
No, somebody in a wheelchair.
I'm like, when I think of you and Sam, I don't think of wheelchairs. I think of like politics and nerdy shit. You know? So it's like I automatically was like, what, like a nerd?
Yeah, well,
I think that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, well,
what do you mean, you people?
Yeah, what do you? Yeah. No, I mean, more, and I would date the hell out of nerds.
Yeah, that's what they keep.
Sure.
They want a nerdy goth girl. That's what they want.
Facts.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Mm-hmm.
Nerdy redhead, but you know.
Oh, even more specific. Okay, good luck with that.
Oh Lord.
Nerdy redheaded goth. There you go.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, super specific. So.
Yeah, them big titty goth girls.
Or Trish Stratus, right?
Just the goth.
Well, yeah. I mean,
they don't care.
They exist. They're out there.
For sure.
Did you get the link?
Yeah, I'm just trying to.
By the way, Hasan is 6'3". I also Googled that.
Oh, okay.
To comment on the game earlier, I doubt that that's even the most sus thing that's on my Google history. So you don't have to worry about it. My FBI agent that's watching my Google search is like, what is wrong with her?
To be fair, I believe that. So
yeah.
Having known you a little while, it's like, yeah, she probably searches shit she hears because she wants to know what it is more than she should.
Yep.
Don't you fucking call me out like that.
Well, we're all guilty of that. So I've searched things out of curiosity and then I've immediately regretted it.
Like what?
I'm not sure if you want that top 10 list. So
yeah, top 10 things Sam has regretted searching on Google. That's a top for the future.
Oh God.
Top 10 things that Max made Sam Google and he regrets it.
Top 10 things Sam has asked Grok.
I really rolled myself into that one, huh, guys? So,
that's our Sammy.
But no, we have this Shoe on Head video. Who I don't think I've heard of Shoe on Head, but I've never watched her. I've never watched any of her videos.
I've seen Nux's reactions to some of her content.
She's a lefty, but she's like a sane lefty, I would say. One, and like her line in the sand, where I think like she's kind of turned a corner, is the same as like J.K. Rowling in a sense. Is like she's very pro woman stuff, right? And she sees the trans stuff as maybe encroaching on woman stuff. And so she is on the left, but I don't think you'll disagree with this. I wanted to like let you know you're not going to disagree with what she's saying here. I don't think.
Yeah, well, let's see what this is about. So.
I more want you guys' reactions to the tweets that she's looking at, because some of them it's like wild.
Yeah,
sure.
Do they want money, status, fast, expensive cars? What is the ultimate male fantasy? Is it fame, fortune, 3 hot chicks at once? Hell yeah, brother. No, according to men on the internet, it's something a little more simple.
So sweet.
This is literally just a fetish. I hate men so much. Men are why we can't have nice things. As I was working on an upcoming video, I made the terrible mistake of logging onto Twitter, where I saw this post. A montage from the anime Josie, the Tiger, and the Fish, a movie about a college student who is assigned to take care of a paraplegic girl, and spoiler, eventually they fall in love.
Fuck YouTube ads.
You brokey, you don't have premium? No, I'm kidding.
You don't have ad block?
Yeah, no, I don't.
I'm just
Lies of this tweet and talking about how they wish to fall in love and would love a relationship like this, while many others, mostly women, were absolutely f***ing disgusted at this. Why would a bunch of men be fantasizing about being with a woman in a wheelchair? Seems pretty creepy and predatory, right?
Maybe not everything's about
unrealistic and problematic. Well, in this video, we are going to be talking about why so many men resonated to that clip and this movie, and why so many people are so confused as to why. We are also going to be reading some absolutely unhinged tweets, as usual, to get to...
So I do want to point out kind of beforehand, my personal experience, it seems that like a lot of these feminist women, they project a lot of their perversions
onto others
about women onto men.
Yeah, see, like from where I sat, I immediately was like, oh, that's a very cute anime about a couple. Right. And it's a cute twist too. Oh, well, she's in a wheelchair. That kind of, I mean, it's like the typical like romance story has to have some type of problem and in some type of resolution, right? And there you go.
A conflict to overcome.
Yeah. So it's a beautifully told story. Also, I want to point out it was literally made by a 70-something-year-old Japanese woman.
Yeah.
So it's not a male fantasy at all. It's a woman wrote it.
Yeah. Basically a grandmother, if I had to guess.
Yeah, probably.
To the bottom of why such a wholesome post turned into, once again, another battlefront for the ongoing, never-ending gender war. Men versus women, women versus men, the male loneliness epidemic, the female loneliness epidemic, the dealing with dating apps. Do men prefer thin women or curvy women? Brunettes or blondes? Do women like dad bods or fit men? Do they like beards or clean-shaven? Oh yeah, that reminds me. Let's quickly get into today's sponsor,
Nope.
Oh, he also doesn't have a sponsor block. You should get that one.
Thanks to Henson Shaving. Henson Shaving is on a mission to build parts for the International Space Station.
Don't care.
Going cost of buying
her wig.
Imagine
of all the tourists.
videos with ads.
Yeah,
you can subscribe to Rumble Premium.
Yeah, hi. I have a question. Yeah. Was the upskirt shot necessary in order to advance the plot?
Agree.
I watched Pokemon and Sailor Moon when I was a kid, and a few years ago I watched Beastars on Netflix. Legoshi, best boy. Not a furry, by the way. And honestly, that's about it for my anime consumption. Unless you're counting VTubers. If you're counting VTubers, I watch a lot of anime. But because of this clip going viral, I watched Josie, the Tiger, and the Fish, and, well, I thought it was a good movie. I recommend watching it. I thought it was a really cute, good story. I only cried a little bit, and I completely understood what the tweet meant by calling it the average male fantasy. So, what was wrong with it? Why did this clip go so viral in such a negative way? Why were thousands of people angry at this post? Well, let us dilly-dally no longer and read some of these angry replies to get a better understanding of what the issue is, shall we? Wholesome male fantasy, and it's fetishizing a disabled girl for him to control. Oh.
What?
Oh no. They think, oh god, why?
Do you think
Always
just because you're in a
vulnerable,
wheelchair
always
you have
happy,
no
always needs you?
consent?
Pretty perverted.
Yes.
They're throwing in the
That's
50 Shades of
ridiculous.
Grey
She's
bullshit.
babies.
So, yeah, spoiler, I didn't want to directly say it to you guys because I wanted your reaction, but the whole controversy, Sam and Mort,
That's ableist.
is that they're claiming that dating a girl in a wheelchair is that women in wheelchairs
It's
are
predatory.
indecent, and it's predatory. They're both of
So what?
legal age.
Because their brain broken and too full of fucking 50 Shades of female porn bullshit.
Yeah.
Agree.
I mean, honestly, you're not wrong. No control. I feel like that. Also, I've heard of the male loneliness epidemic. I don't think I've ever heard of the female loneliness epidemic. Is that a new thing?
Well, I mean, it might be now with the whole dating apps thing.
Nobody trusts anybody, huh?
So Maxine just pointed out, I don't know if you heard that, like they're talking about it being about control, right? Like he can control her because she's in a wheelchair. And that actually is what I'm saying is why I wanted you guys to respond. What do you think about that? Are you, if you're in a relationship with a broad, are you being controlled?
Fuck no.
Not unless they like it.
I mean,
bullshit, man.
I mean,
Your kind answer coming a mile away.
sometimes, but generally no.
Only in the bedroom.
Yes, exactly. That's what I was insinuating.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's some of that, but like, yeah, it's like, are you a fucking, like, they're literally making this woman into some kind of like vegetable.
Well,
She's not even a quadriplegic.
No,
even if she was.
I went and I read the fucking the manga thing, or whatever, the storyboard. I'm not sure if it was a manga or a storyboard, and so I didn't watch the fucking movie yet. But what I saw, like, yeah, it was oftentimes she was busting his balls. Right? They had a back and forth. They had fun together. Like, it's not just, oh, he takes care of the wheelchair girl and wipes her butt. They're going out on dates and stuff. It's like a normal fucking romance story.
I'm sure she could wipe her own butt.
Yeah, she takes care of herself almost entirely. He helps her, like, get up and down stairs and get the fucking appointments. That's like what he was doing at his job.
So basically, what my best friend Luke would help me do if he were, in town or something.
Yeah, or like,
let's
let's say you lived on your own, Sam. You might call somebody in to just tidy up the house or whatever. That's what he was doing.
Yeah.
And then he liked her. They got along real well. He started hanging out to talk to her, and they fell in love. Like, it's a beautiful story, actually.
It is. I actually kind of want to see this now, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it after the show.
Cool.
So.
Where are these fan fictions coming from? There were like hundreds of tweets just like this. Why did they see a cute montage of a happy couple, a man and a woman happy, together? I know, unheard of. Why did they see that and then immediately come to these conclusions? Like, as someone who actually watched the movie, Josie is not always happy, and she's absolutely not portrayed as some, like, vulnerable, ooh-woo, sex doll waifu. She's boisterous, she kind of has a foul mouth, she's very sassy and headstrong, she, like, straight up calls him her servant, but she was also very depressed. She basically never left her house, she was basically a girl failure. As a former girl failure, I love to see representation in media. But they actually show her disability, like, not in a good way. Like, they don't romanticize it, they don't sugarcoat it. And I noticed, unlike a lot of movies, unlike a lot of romance movies, at least like the Hallmark kind, where it's like the stuffy male lead learning to live life from the quirky cute female lead. He's already got his shit together, and she learns to live life from him. He encourages her to live her dreams, and in return, he learns to live life in a completely different way. And I thought that was really cool and sweet. Also, the animation was really good. Is anime good? Have I been sleeping on anime this entire time? His fantasy is that she becomes permanently disabled and helplessly dependent on him, but can still make him a sandwich. Sounds about right.
So these people clearly didn't watch the movie then.
Well, look, you can still make sandwiches, right? Yeah, of course, she's a sandwich maker. Never mind, keep going.
Yeah.
What about tendies, though? Okay, she can make tendies. We're good.
Well, and I'm sure she can throw them at you too.
Yeah.
After watching the movie, these tweets are even more insane. But even putting the movie aside, just seeing that like cute montage out of context, where the fuck are they getting this? These are very clearly just two happy people. But because the caption was the average male fantasy, their mind immediately goes to the darkest, worst faith interpretation of this.
Because men only ever, Sam, ever think about sex.
Yeah, well that's what the feminists like to think. So.
And they never think about Rome.
We only think about sex every like 7 seconds, but we think about Rome. We think about Rome for those 3 other seconds. So.
No, Rome is more of like a pondering moment, right? Rome is more like you're going throughout your day and you're like, man. But
so
Rome
pondering about sex?
I ponder about World War II a lot, if I'm being honest.
Women think about sex just as much as men do.
I think
That's
more.
a fact.
That is true.
Not according to the feminists.
But also, you know, it's just like this.
We don't claim them.
This is the men only ever think about sex, so therefore the average male fantasy must be sex related. When the whole point is like it's a happy couple he's like with a cute girl. That's the fantasy.
Right. Well, again, it seems to be all these feminists like projecting.
If she was fat as well, they'd probably be more okay with it.
Yeah. Yeah, if she were fat and ugly.
Yeah.
The problem is these people can't see any humanity in men. They can't see any humanity in humanity in general. Average male fantasy equals girlfriend with no agency who's completely physically dependent on you and
So you said Shoe on Head is like a former lefty?
Yeah.
Well, she's like a center lefty.
Center lefty that recently got married in the last 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I would say she's like kind of a turf though.
Yeah.
So she's just now waking up to how like bad some of these feminists
Yes.
are.
Not just, but over the last couple of years.
Well, not just, but like more recently, I guess, is what I'm.
Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to.
She's had like a redemption arc, kind of like Bill Maher, in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. So.
forced into blanket subservience and compliance. Sounds about right. You males are weird for fetishizing physically disabled women. Average male fantasy is having a physically disabled girl that they can abuse however they want. Got it.
Abuse?
Yeah.
Where did abuse come into it?
How dare you take her into the ocean?
Well, that's...
Again, that goes back to the 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, more is absolutely right. These, I mean, have any...
It's not even 50 Shades, man. These types of women are immediately going to rape in their mind because they're like, she can't get away. She doesn't want to get away. She loves him. For fuck's sake. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, these feminists confuse romance for smut now, basically.
And also the assumption that, like, if she said, no, I don't want this to him, that he's going to continue. Where did that come from? They seem like they saw, Sam, a few seconds of a happy couple.
Yep.
And this was their response. That's why I wanted you guys to react to it, because this is insane.
It is.
The spoiler.
Guy, I'm good.
The disabled people, though they might have a special set of circumstances, I assure you, are not retarded infants just because they're in a fucking wheelchair.
Yeah, that's wild.
Unfortunately, that's something that, like, Mort and I...
DSP is more retarded than us.
Yeah.
Also, I guarantee if the genders were reversed, it wouldn't have gotten this much flack. If it was a guy in a wheelchair with a girl pushing him around, they'd be like, yeah, I get that.
Oh, you mean like the movie You and Me?
But,
The Fault in Our Stars.
There you go.
Maxine said that, like, the movie You and Me.
I mean, feminists would hate that too, though, probably.
They even go to the beach.
I mean, yeah, because then they'd say, "Oh, he just wants a woman to take care of him." Right?
Well, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He actually had her assist him in ending his own life.
Okay, apparently he wanted to die. That's really dark. We were talking about a happy movie for wheelchair people.
I know what I'm saying, like.
Okay. So the feminists might actually like that movie then, if it, if it's all about, like, assisted suicide.
But, like, like this idea that just because she's in a wheelchair, like these are the same people, Sam, that call us ableist, racist, homophobic, sexist, and every fucking time they have one of these kind of beliefs that is literally what they're calling you.
Yes.
Like, if this isn't quote unquote ableist, what the fuck is?
Yeah. These are the same people who will like call Mort and I Uncle Tom.
And that's why Sam and I hate these fucking people all the time, because they fucking project so goddamn much. They don't know their ass from a hole in the ground.
I couldn't even believe they were calling Mort an Uncle Tom right on Twitter, and I was like, "What the fuck? Do you understand what you're saying?" And it's because they're not, like, Democrats. Jeez. Yeah, it's crazy the amount. Since I've been on the show, Sam, now I've always known about prejudice that people in wheelchairs face, because, like I've pointed out, I had my good friend John, the past recently. I've talked about him with cerebral palsy, and they treated him the same way. But man, since I've been on this show, I didn't understand how widespread it is to just absolutely, like, a shit on you guys in the worst way possible with a smile.
Yeah, if we don't suck off the left, they hate us.
I mean, I was called a Nazi sympathizer by a Democrat on my college campus simply because I was leading a college Republican chapter.
But this is even beyond political, right? This is she's just in a wheelchair. They're mad.
I know, but they were all saying stuff like, and you should know better because you're in a wheelchair.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So yeah, I mean, it's
crazy. Some of the stuff, like, you guys have talked about. That's why I wanted to bring this video to you guys' attention, since it's a disability related kind of noteworthy news thing. And yeah, I recommend people to check out this film. I'll probably watch it myself. It looks really good.
And for a second, to bounce off Sam's idea for a second, what's that say about the fucking left, that people like Sam and I aren't on the left?
Right.
A lot of other disabled people I know actually. I know a lot of disabled people who also voted for Trump, but they don't want to say anything because they're literally afraid of, like, being hurt or something like that.
Thankfully, you and I can defend ourselves.
Right, which is it's crazy though, but we even have to, like, worry about that,
Yeah,
and
it is.
I just imagine in here, after all these things, of, like, what it must be like for a disabled young girl who's maybe. I guess if you're fully on board with the identity politics stuff, the left will probably treat you okay. But if you were more like the girl in the film and you're just kind of normal and happen to be in a wheelchair, well, fuck you seems to be their sentiment.
Pretty much.
If your dream, if you're that girl in the wheelchair, if your dream is to find a nice guy who will understand your disability, they're telling you that you're bad.
Yep. And they're going to try to twist her brain and turn her against him.
And basically, it's the same thing for guys in wheelchairs too. Like, we just want someone not even to like take care of us, but just understand.
Understanding, yeah.
So I mean, yeah. Welcome to. I mean,
the extent of help that I want from a partner, the same extent that you would get, Max, from Maxine.
Yeah.
Right. Right, like realistically, maybe your partner takes in the groceries or something.
Well,
if you
it's not even that, Sam. You guys don't gotta explain, because even for a couple like me and Maxine, okay, as we've gotten older, we've both had health things come up. It's maybe not as life changing as that, but certainly you have to understand that the other
right.
Maxine had a surgery last year. I've had a heart attack. And you do have to do things differently, and you have to like grow together, and there's nothing wrong with any of that. And I don't understand how it makes them so mad. I did think it would be funny, but it's also a little sad that this is like a common sentiment among modern women.
Well, I mean, I don't want to blame it on any one company, but if I'm being honest, I think it's because we have a whole generation of women that grew up on in the Disney fairy tale thing, and so they think that that's they think that that's a reality.
Maybe you're right, but I think there's another thing going on, Sam, is that there's also a generation of women that were raised equally as much as the men with porn as a ever-present fucking thing.
Facts.
Yes.
And I think young people...
I think representation in all media. Go ahead, Max.
Well, I was going to say, I think young people look at sex and relationships differently than us because of the prevalence of porn in culture.
Yeah.
I think they look through at a lot of it through the lens of having porn's always been there. And it's like...
Well, but...
Like in my day, if you wanted to see porn, you had to like find somebody's dad's Playboy magazine.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And nowadays,
that was my first exposure to that kind of media. Was finding my dad's magazine.
They got it on their phone
here.
And they can watch like 10 midgets or whatever, or whatever kind of crazy crap. And I do think that I would say that their generation, it skews the men. I'm not sure if the women are consuming as much porn, but because the men are skewed by a lot of porn stuff that's fucking their brains up, the men have made a lot of women like a little more hesitant about men. That's what I think is going on.
Well, Max, it's interesting that you say that though, because I would kind of say that it's not so much.
The idea of a gooner is a new concept.
I mean, for guys, sure, but also like erotica is a huge thing now too. And
look, I understand the idea of that people looked at porn and women look at erotica and read romance novels, but I'm saying a gooner is a new concept.
Yeah,
right. But it's right. But and there are women though that are gooners.
If you were a woman, wouldn't you be scared by all these gooner guys? Ignore the they're like whataboutism part of it. If you were a woman and you saw there were so many creepy motherfuckers out there that say awful things and the way they hit on women and they have like no social skills, wouldn't you be a little more leery of young guys?
Oh sure.
Yep.
That's all I'm saying is like, dude, young guys, if you're fucking if you're not one of the gooners that acts like a creepy asshole, make up for them in your own way. But if you are, get help. Don't be a creep. Like that guy we were talking about.
Get some help.
Yeah, get some help. He's touching Bad Bunny or whatever, Bad Baby or whatever the fuck. Don't touch. Or these creepy wrestling fans, Sam, that are like groping Rhea Ripley. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Well, but then also on the flip side, like,
did nobody teach you to keep your hands to yourself, boys?
Nope.
I'll kick your fucking ass if I see that shit, man. I whoop your ass.
Well, no, because Dad was never in the house.
I swear to God, if I was like witness to somebody walk up and slap like Rhea Ripley on the ass, I would whoop his ass. Like, yeah, of course. You put your that's assault, bro. You can't be doing that. Right?
I think I'm gonna bounce, you guys.
Have a good night, Chibi.
Well,
this has been so nice.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. This was a pleasant surprise.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. All right,
You're
be
welcome.
good, you guys.
You too.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chibi. So.
Yeah. Well, always appreciated. I mean, you can watch more, but it's basically more of that same sentiment. You know.
Yeah.
Unless you got other stuff you want to go over.
Well, you mentioned you had like some Hasan clips or something to.
I didn't have the Hasan clips right now. I didn't think that's the clips. I mentioned this clip. I said people knew that besides you, and then I said I would have to look them up, so I would have to do that. It would be from multiple sources. Do you know how much crazy shit Hasan has said in the last 2 weeks, Sam? No, you don't.
I suppose I could live react to some of.
Okay. Instead of you guys got the gist of this, I think you guys have a kind of insight on it.
Yeah.
You want to watch? I know Mortheus is probably Mortheus. Should we recommend him like Nux or
Sure? Nux is good.
Nux is good. Yeah, I think
good jumping off point.
We'll start with like the most latest Nux video about the subject, which would be in his 500% fucked franchise or whatever. How fucked is Hasan Piker? We're gonna recommend you go with 550% fucked.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Well, that was today's video. And it should catch you up very quickly on some of it. Nux is pretty good in this regard because he gets a lot of the good clips together, Sam, and he explains things that people don't understand quite well. And he's kind of funny. He's pretty basic.
So
for a cartoon.
Nux is
Nux Taku. He's a VTuber.
So
I linked it on Twitter.
Okay, let me see here.
And so he does he's been following, he's at the forefront of the Hasan Piker slow motion meltdown. And it's funny enough. We could watch some of that, and you could get why like gamers are talking about it, not just political people. In fact, political people probably
check this out. I just dragged a task into a project, and this new AI tool built my entire week. It's scheduled deadlines.
There are currently.
So let's see.
Yeah. So that's like the most recent video. There you see Hasan Piker with a very small head there.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
And
while we're looking at this, I'll see if I can find another video as well.
Over 4 million children in Yemen that are married.
Just find a compilation of just things he's said, if possible.
Okay.
That would be the hardest part, right? I'll look as well.
Yeah, I've seen some of the stuff that he said like probably like 6 months ago, but I imagine it's
going to be in here, and we're talking about the last couple weeks. So you get caught up with Nux. He's very funny, by the way.
Yeah. And Hasan Piker supports the Houthis. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 550% special of the How Effed is Hasan Piker franchise. A lot of people are fully unaware of how effed he is. So that's why I needed to be here to let you know he is 550% effed. Last time we covered him, he's absolutely scared out of his mind that I might be suing him because he knows he would get absolutely obliterated in court. So today's episode is going to be crazy, and I'm really happy it's 5:50 because this is one of the darkest episodes of the franchise. So we are going to go through it. We are going to be official. We are trying to have a good sense of humor about all of this stuff, but it's probably the darkest video of the franchise so far. I know I've said that in previous videos, but it keeps getting worse. He keeps getting worse. His rhetoric keeps getting more intense. And realistically, this man's going to be imprisoned by 1,000%, and it's going to be insane. So a lot of people know that I am planning on talking about the fire attack that happened in Colorado, where there was a terrorist attack in Colorado, and some Egyptian illegal immigrant lit a couple of Jews on fire. We're going to be talking about.
Oh yeah, that is the other thing I want to point out, that this scumfuck was here illegally too.
He was even given a job by the Biden administration, Sam.
Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not just that, but like now I know I don't live there anymore, but good God, Coloradans, if you guys don't vote out Jared Polis out of office, I don't know what to tell you guys. Jared Polis is just as bad as Gavin Newsom is now, in my humble opinion. As governor, he has fucked that state harder than he's fucked his husband.
Well, we'll see with the
Sam. I'm going to send you a 6-minute video that I just found.
So
that today, because we're also going to be looking at his response to that, where he essentially says lighting them on fire is not really like a good method to do it, which is the craziest coverage in the history of time. However, he is going to be in prison. We are going to cheer, but I wanted to talk about a blood libel that's been going around. Probably one of the most horrific blood libels of recent time, and Hasan is propagating it. So this is Hasan's latest stream title: Israel opens fire at aid line. For those of you that are unaware of what's actually been going on in Israel and the whole Israel-Gaza drama, essentially, the UN's food kept getting stolen by Hamas, so Israel and the United States decided that they are going to initiate their own food line where they are going to get food to the people of Gaza so that the terrorists no longer steal the food. I have already covered that in 530 and 540%. So, or 530 and 520 rather. So here it states that Israel opened fire at the aid line, implying that Israel said, hey guys, come get food. People came to get food and Israel killed them. This didn't happen. This is not true at all. This is not even remotely true whatsoever. We're going to go through some of the fake news, but notice Hasan, of course. Okay, dude, I'll save that for later, actually. That was meant to be later. But so anyway, if you look at the way the news has been covering it, BBC says at least 27 Palestinians killed by Israeli fire while waiting for aid, Gaza authorities say. All right, that's pretty crazy. That's pretty insane. That's fucking horrible. That's a tragic thing, and that's a war crime. That's a nightmare. New York Times, breaking news. Israel troops near opened fire near a Gaza aid site. The military said Gazan officials said at least 27 people were killed. Notice, this is the New York Times quoting what the Gazan officials, Hamas, are saying. They are quoting the terrorist organization that says that 27 people were killed by Israelis. All right, this is a horrible thing. All right, Israel, of course, denies it. They say this didn't happen. All right, they're like, this unequivocally did not happen, but Israel's biased, so we'll keep going. This is one of the politicians in Israel who said, no, this did not happen. Israeli tanks never opened fire on civilians. Like, what is happening? All right, so things are getting a little more interesting. Things are getting very suspicious. There's quite the back and forth. And then a lot of videos came out. A lot of very weird, interesting videos came out from civilians in Gaza. Because remember, the civilians in Gaza hate Hamas. Hamas started this war. Hamas can end the war any day by releasing the hostages and surrendering. And Hamas does not do that. So let's see what the civilians in Gaza are saying about this.
نحن هنا بنتحدث في هذا الموضوع. أولا حماس تفضل ونموت جوع ونعاني كي لا تنجح المساعدات الأمريكية. حماس تستخدم اقتصاد المساعدات وتوزع عادات على الناس واستغلالهم والتحكم فيهم وتجنيد الشباب والناس والمحتاجين وبالتالي إذا بكل تأكيد تزعج حماس.
Right, the new mechanism is controlled by the United States and actually does get food to civilians. So the Hamas terrorists that like to control the people by stealing their food and starving them, to use their starved people as propaganda to the world. Remember, these are terrorist motherfuckers. All right, they're rapists, murderers. They're horrible.
I like this guy, this Knox guy.
Yeah, he's all right. He's pretty funny.
But I'm not seeing. I'm going to scroll through the video a bit.
Well, why don't you just play the clip Mortheus sent you?
Yeah.
If you're looking for just the exact thing, like Sam, the guy said so much. It's wild. Like, that's why I said, like, people that know about it, you notice, like, everybody but you kind of know what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it though, because you're not a Twitch guy. It's not occurred to you, but yeah, there's
America deserved 9/11.
Well, there you go. Start there.
Oh yeah. Oh, so that's a great way to start.
That's old as shit.
Yeah. Still though, I do remember hearing that one, and yeah.
Dude, I'm saying it.
Hate is a pretty strong word, and there's only a few things in this life that I hate. I hate tomatoes. I absolutely hate them when they put too fat, juicy tomatoes in my burger. I hate that. I hate when they don't put enough jalapenos on my taco. And something else that I hate is hypocrites. And when I'm talking about hypocrites, I'm talking about people who pretend to be socialists while having a $3 million mansion. That's exactly who Hasan Piker is. And in case you guys are lucky enough to have never, ever heard of this stupid moron, he's this left-wing political YouTuber, and I don't dislike him because of the politics. Everyone here knows that I'm not a politics guy. I don't dislike him because he's in the left. If he was on the right, I would hate him equally. And it blows my mind that there's people out there who like his type of content. He claims to be a socialist despite having a Twitch contract. And who owns Twitch? Amazon. He claims to be a socialist, yet he has a $3 million mansion in LA, has a $250,000 Porsche. Really? This is your socialist? This fucking moron? And in case you guys follow me on Twitter, and if you don't,
well, that seems to be the case with a lot of
To be fair, I genuinely don't care about any of that. He could be a big old hypocrite.
No, I get
I'm more
that.
concerned with the things he's been saying recently, you know?
Right.
Yeah. I'm just kind of pointing out that it's always funny that the socialists are like the uber rich fuckers too, usually.
Yeah.
Please follow me. I will really appreciate a new account. I made 2 tweets referring to this guy earlier today. One of them I say, I wish the worst 50-year-old man who was caught in
day and his business got ransacked there. But from where we are here, you know, it does that the officers are heading back. You know, in terms
Do you
of
see what they're doing?
being able to disperse this crowd that they were able to do. You know, we did a story a couple of weeks ago about how they were able to go after scooters by kind of circumventing them in that sense. And it from my perspective,
I fucking despise local media, dude. There you go. There is no better representation of how dog water local media is, and how much
I gotta find something like
how much they.
This shit from years ago, Sam, is like, honestly, I didn't even care. Like, what is actually the problem with this guy isn't any of this stuff. It's that he's literally advocating terrorism as terror attacks happen on U.S. soil.
Yeah, I'm searching right now to see if I can find any clips of.
Well, yeah, but this clearly is like older stuff.
No,
I guess nobody's put together just a compilation of the shit he's saying recently. That's kind of the tough part. Well, I don't know. It's out there. I haven't misquoted him at all.
No, I'm not saying you have.
I'm just trying to find something new. It's impossible.
Let's see.
That's the problem. Yeah, people won't fucking touch the newer shit.
No, there's many videos. They're just not a compilation of it. Like, I've watched, like, Asmongold watches the shit. Fucking that Nux guy. It's in that video, Sam. And it maybe not in the Nux video, exactly that one, but, like, he talks, like, all of this stuff has been very documented by, like, multiple, more Pegasus does videos about it. Rev does videos about it. There's so many, like, big creators making videos about this. Like, every day. It's not that nobody will touch it. It's that we should find a compilation.
Right.
Yeah, think I might have found a section where he's talking on it.
Ultimately, what you said about Vietnam probably rings true. It does
go
not.
Go back about 30 seconds, please.
It affects some of them psychologically.
Because yes, that's bad empanadas on screen. So go back to when it starts with him. That guy advocates terrorism, Sam, and Hasan had him on stream. There you go.
So, anyway, I wanted to show you this clip. I've showed it in Hasan Piker's 500% Fucked, but I think it's incredibly important to look into this one a little bit more before we get into the actual terrorist attack that happened in the United States of America in Boulder, Colorado, because this is going to make a lot more sense in context. So this is Hasan talking to some guy, I don't know him, and essentially they're having a conversation here about how cool it would be if they had an IRA-style terrorist organization bombing people in the United States of America.
The amount of power to challenge this, but they also themselves have no real reason, no real motivation for doing so, because
right? He's talking about how Americans don't have a motivation to go against Israel. They need a motivation.
Ultimately, what you said about Vietnam probably rings true. It does not affect them that much. It affects some of them psychologically, and that is about it. They don't see any material consequences from it. There has not been like a massive adverse reaction that could turn them against it. Like, for example, like the IRA, for example, did a lot to like instill like fatigue in the British public on their government to try and
look at him nodding along. It's like, yes. Unfortunately, there's no IRA-style terrorist organization to build fatigue in America.
For some sort of solution to the troubles.
Yeah.
There's nothing like that. There's nothing like it anywhere. Not at all.
Well,
there's no
thank God historically.
Thank God. Although Antifa was also, that's what they were trying to do.
To do with Antifa, right?
And that's what these terror attacks are trying to do too. It's always what terrorism is trying to do. He's literally just boiling it down to that. This guy, Bad Empanadas, is advocating terrorist activity on U.S. soil to get people to hate Israel, flat out. That's the kind of shit I wanted to make sure you see. That's where I don't care that he's a hypocrite, Sam. I don't care that he's cringe.
Right.
Twitch advocates this by having him back after one day. This is after his ban, by the way. He had this guy on after he got banned to talk about this. Then he said nice things about both the terrorists.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah. That's why the ADL is saying like they want something done about him. And it sucks, dude, because they're going to advocate for like misinformation laws and shit. And all you really need to do is shut this fucker up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let this fucker up and get rid of Dan Clancy.
Well, can I just say, thank God Trump is president?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
No, you're not allowed to say that, Sam.
Because
why you ask for permission.
Well, I'm saying it rhetorically, Max.
Bless America.
I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it anyway, regardless. But thank God Trump is president, because can you imagine if this went on while the other mealy mouth was in charge?
We'd be fucked.
Oh, yeah.
He would be. Hasan Piker would be like in charge.
Well,
less.
Well, I mean, judging on what has come out this week too, Biden, I guess, finally addressed his cancer.
His butt cancer, Sam.
Yeah. So turns
very
out
terrible how he got butt cancer. It's awful.
Yeah.
Can't imagine. It would be terrible to get butt cancer.
It actually would.
I'm not joking. There's no joke in that.
Yeah.
What? Because it's butt cancer. It's funny. Millions of Americans die from butt cancer, Sam. They don't appreciate you laughing at the state of their butts.
I'm not laughing at the say their butts. I'm laughing at the way you
butt cancer is a serious problem, Sam.
It's called colon.
We're laughing at the comedic giant.
No, it's not just he doesn't have colon cancer, Sam. He has prostate cancer, which is butt cancer. But colon cancer is also butt cancer. Did you know there's also bowel cancer?
Yes.
And rectal cancer, Sam. There's multiple kinds of cancer that are related to your butt. Okay, so I'm trying to cover all the people with butt cancer, Sam, not just some of them. Okay.
So we don't know which butt cancer. Well, yeah, he does have prostate cancer.
Right. And he got it. Now, sometimes you just get cancer, just however. Sometimes you get it by it's genetic. And sometimes, and this is where I think we need to bring awareness. Sometimes you get it by getting fucked in your butt so much. You know what I mean? By so many different guys.
Yeah.
And that's Joe Biden.
Well, he was
allegedly.
He was fucking the entire country though, too, to be fair.
Yeah, and the whole time he's getting fucked by, all the Democrats in the Senate, like gangbang style.
Well, allegedly
that's how he got butt cancer. Ow! What the hell?
Gangnam Style?
Yo, Sonic, what do you think about Joe Biden's butt cancer? That shit's gay! Ah!
I was wondering when you were gonna get something thrown at you.
I just had to talk about the butt cancer for a few minutes and how many dicks Joe Biden gets in his butt.
That one missed.
Oh.
475 is the answer to how many dicks in Joe Biden's butt, Sam. Did you know that?
That's a whole lot of dick.
A whole lot of dick. That's like a mile of dick.
I would be curious how you came up with that answer, but Max, but I don't want to know.
Ask Grok. I don't know. How many dicks have been in Joe Biden's butt, Grok?
That would be something that you would ask Grok.
How would Grok know that?
You know how else you can get
I'm just saying, gentlemen, you gotta keep your keister clean.
You know how else you can
keep
get
the dicks out.
My God.
You know how else you can get ass
dicks out for Harambe?
Yeah, dicks out for Harambe. Damn right. Ow.
You know how else you can get ass cancer? By watching Hasan Piker. Not quite the.
She hit me with a cookie, Sam. It's chocolate chip.
I was gonna say, is it at least a tasty cookie?
Actually, it's chocolate chunk.
Well, she threw
is chip or chunk better, guys? Let's Hassan's a terrorist, but let's deal with the real issues of life. Are you a chocolate chip guy or a chocolate chunk guy?
I'm a chocolate chunk guy. Personally,
you kind of look like a chunk guy.
Yes, I like my chocolate chips chunky a little bit.
Yeah, he likes a little chunk.
I'm more of a chunk guy than I have been in the past.
Get older, you like a little more chunk.
Yep.
Oh my
God. Of course you do. Of course you do more. So,
especially when it's junk in the trunk.
Yeah.
Chunky junk?
Yep.
In the trunk.
Yep.
Yeah.
With just the right amount of firmness.
Yeah.
Well,
that was a yeah. What do you think that was? She's like, what was that? Yeah. Chunky junk in the trunk. That shit's got the funk.
Hey, Sam, I dropped an Asmongold video in the DMs 10 days ago.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So just
I dropped the gay pornography video in the chat, Sam.
Oh my god.
Well, obviously I'm not gonna watch that on stream or ever, Max.
I didn't actually do it, so it's probably fine.
Well, I would. Well,
there's like a bunch of people in that chat. Of course, I would do that.
Well, I would hope not.
Yeah.
So.
Why would I subject them to a Johnny Fox video like that?
You'd only subject us to Johnny Fox.
Oh my God! Can we do a Johnny Fox moment, Sam? You're gonna like it.
Oh yeah. I actually have a Johnny Fox moment of my own. Actually,
I got a great Johnny Fox moment for you. I'm gonna read you.
Go first.
I'm gonna read you his statement. Okay, this is great. So I mentioned it. He's retiring from watching other people's videos and reacting because he got copy struck. And he's also come to the realization, Sam, that he's so fucking boring that he'll make you fall asleep. And he's figured this superpower into his new strategy of his fall asleep fast to me playing video games for not even long ones. They're like 20 minutes. But with that, he also said this, and I want to read it out for you because it's great. You remember I talk about him with branding, Sam?
Yeah.
Where he's like obsessed with the idea that everything's a brand, and if he switches brands, then he'll be successful and all that.
Of course.
1 day ago, edited. Johnny Fox says, the new channel at Fall Asleep With Me or whatever, which is weird. Just for the record, I'm not quoting right now. That's a weird name. Fall Asleep With Me. Anyway, is doing a lot better than Falco Punch / Johnny Fox Gaming ever did. That's actually not even true, Sam, because Falco Punch, he used to have like 100 people watching him live sometimes.
Right.
I could show you his view count now. It's under 10. Anyway, these videos nobody watches them, right? I'm tired of playing the Johnny. This is the part you'll like. I'm tired of playing the Johnny Fox character. I have been that person online for 11 years now without fail, and people who talk to me in private are shocked at how quiet, reserved, and nice I am to them. Johnny is just the mask for me. The mask is in quotes. You remember the movie? Jim Carrey was a socially anxious, quiet kind of goofball who just liked being alone with his dog. And then he put on the mask and became a complete maniac. That's what Johnny Fox is for me. Peaceful Pixels is a lot closer to the real person. So to the people that hate me, good. I did my job. I am a heel character online. I'm here to make you laugh or piss you off, just like a wrestler did back in the day. Their boos or my applause. I did my job. And to those who think I'm full of it and Johnny Fox is 100% real, good, because I did my job even better if you fell for it. Johnny Fox is a character, always has been. It was created sort of as a Jim Cornette kind of persona that ranted and raved and motherfucked people because it was funny and people love it. But Peaceful Pixels makes me happy. At least it does for now. Even if it only gets 10 views, those mean a lot to me. Have a good day at work, everyone. That was from Johnny Fox, ladies and gentlemen.
Or Peaceful Pixels, or whatever he's calling himself.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Peaceful, the artist formerly known as Johnny Fox over here.
You're dead naming him back. How dare you?
He's not an author anymore either, Sam. Now he just plays Stardew Valley. and talks like he's not confident.
Well, it's funny that you say that because he's no longer an author because he actually reposted. I will give him this. He was so determined to leave a bad review on my book that instead of he simply reposted his original bad review under his Johnny Fox name.
It is the same review. Oh man.
Yeah. Well, because the other one got taken down for being like a false review, right? When he was doing the
it still says he hasn't read it.
Right. No. Right. Yeah. It's still no verified purchase. So
go click see more reviews real quick. Go show off your reviews a little bit, Sam. Come on. You know all the other ones are 5 stars.
Yeah. That's for the first book. So
it says see more reviews and it says that they're all 70. Oh well, never mind. Don't show that.
Yeah,
I got you. No, that's cool. He actually admitted that he was trying to review bomb you. That's cute.
Yeah, well,
wow. So he's like he thinks this is his big exit stage left moment then, huh?
Yeah, but then I want to point out see we have other we have other reviews though, such as like Blood Ties, which has like
Sam, you should have shown me this before. I gotta restart the war. I thought I was just dancing on his grave. I gotta shit on Johnny Fox. He gonna start a review bomb author war against you and the author community, essentially, or the at least like the men's adventure fiction community ain't gonna appreciate this.
No, they're not. Although I don't think he reviewed bomb this one, but just to point out,
4-star, 5-star.
Yeah, Terrence like you,
Hey, you can just show off your reviews. It's obvious he review bombed it because every other review on every other book is 4 or 5 stars.
Right, and verified purchases too. So yeah, for the people who don't. The people who don't know, this is like the actual sticker they put on your review when you actually buy one, and yeah,
it's what you should look for, especially with book reviews. And here's another thing, that's a friend, isn't it?
That's Steve Stark.
I was gonna say I recognized that would be
Stark Terra on Twitter. Let me
Yeah. Well, I just want to point before you show anything else. I want to leave his review up for a second because he does a thing that the Johnny Fox review doesn't, which is mention characters, places, themes, and other things. And if you could scroll up a little bit for the other review that we were looking at before, same thing. It mentions things in the story.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even in the 2-sentence review here from Terrence, it mentions the story. It mentions what happened. Johnny's review doesn't even say it needs TLC. It's like a first draft. Fuck off. That's not a helpful review. That's a review bomb. And especially by somebody that doesn't like you openly. We know this. We've had a beef with him. And also is a fucking competing author. Dude, Sam, if you fucking think that I was I was ready to, you know why I was talking about it on your show, Sam? It's because I was ready to just take a little lap on Johnny Fox for a second and then move on.
No, I just thought
you just lit a fucking nuke.
Well, I just thought this would be the perfect time to bring it up since you already had Johnny.
No. I am about to fucking nuke Johnny Fox from orbit. And all your author friends should watch because they're going to get a laugh at fake author Johnny Fox.
Let's go.
Let's fucking go.
Well, you're in the Men's Adventure Fiction Discord, and I should really, I'm going to send Morton an invite right now because he should be in there too.
No, shout out. Those guys are all positive and supportive and helpful and nice and kind.
Yeah, half of them are, more than half of them are dads. So, including like
the whole vibe is very uplifting. It's get out there and do something, better yourself. They're not going to appreciate this kind of shit against somebody like yourself, who you fit right in over there, because you're kind of corny like that. I'm not shitting on them too much. I'm just probably not. No, I'm probably not corny enough to be like the belle of the ball over there. But those guys are cool, and I appreciate what they're doing. You see?
Yeah, no, well, I mean,
and it's what we're doing. It's independent media helping independent media, and this is spitting right in the fucking face of that. And I was done with Johnny Fox, but I'm gonna dig his fucking corpse up and shit on it.
Just
Sam Whitfield under your fucking name, bro.
Just don't shit on his head like Vince. I'm
gonna shit right in his mouth, Sam. Make him taste. And then if he doesn't say, this is delicious, sir, I'm gonna fucking kick his ass. Metaphorically on the internet, of course.
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
Well, you've already done that.
I know. That's why I was just gonna take a little lap. But if he's literally trying to sabotage my bro's author career, I'm fucking. Up until now, that review had said some other name. And we always knew it was him, but it was never confirmed for me until just this moment, Sam.
I
always said if he came after your author career that it was fucking nuclear.
Yeah. Well. Good luck.
Good luck, peaceful pixels.
Yeah. I was gonna say sleep with me or whatever his name was, but yeah, peaceful pixels. I didn't even know I even forgot the name.
Let me tell you, dumb. We ride out on Johnny Fox, man. We black smoke him like a blunt, you know.
He was also like, I mean, this is old news too, but he was like bullying Craig for no reason either.
Attempting to bully Craig, because I doubt he really bullied Craig very much.
Well, yeah. I mean, Craig
is his kryptonite. That's the thing, is he like really should not fuck with Craig. Because Craig, I'll about clue everybody in on a little secret. It wasn't my brother, it wasn't anybody else. Craig has been the voice of reason for me not just destroying him from orbit. Because Craig understood that he was a human being and explained it to me in a way that made sense. And I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't destroy this fucking guy. But you just keep playing with fire, man. And I like, hey, you play with fire with a guy that likes gasoline. Well, match made in hell.
So, by the way, speaking of book promo, and speaking of things,
you can get those highly rated books yourself. Where can they find them, Sam?
And speaking of speaking of flames,
by the way, Johnny Fox, before we get into the awesomeness of promoting your books, Johnny Fox, real people own real copies of his books. Imagine that. Anyway, Sam.
Yeah. Speaking of pyrotechnics,
hold on. Let me get out the way so the boy can chill and look handsome and all that. Ladies.
Speaking of pyrotechnics,
and also readers.
You too can pick up my latest thriller, Night of the Vigilante, and you too can read how Jason Miller is torching the cartels, literally, kind of like how Max is torching Johnny Fox's internet career. This is...
Oh, I haven't even begun.
Well,
Sam, I was going to say tomorrow night I was going to do a different stream. I think I have a different. The book is great, by the way. Big fan of particularly that one.
Yeah,
Night of the Vigilante is your best work. Some people say blood. I've actually argued with people where they say they like Blood Ties better. I think long term, Shadows of Deception has the most potential. But man, is Night of the Vigilante fun? It's a good, I pictured it from the moment I picked it up. Here's a review for you. From the moment I picked it up, I kind of did picture it as Clint Eastwood, kind of like you said. And it would be an awesome, good, dirty action flick, Well, and so if you're looking for something like that, pick up Night of the Vigilante by Sam Whitfield.
Well, I actually, someone recently.
Also, it makes your dick bigger.
It does. It does. And, speaking of Shadows of Deception, book 4 coming in July. So stay tuned for a cover drop, maybe later this week.
Sick.
So, anyway, though, you mentioned Johnny Fox, Max. So I just wanted to show that yes, he is in fact owning up to his.
Well, I'm glad. Is it great when we clear the air like that, Sam? That you literally put up a false review to try and tank somebody because you're jealous of their books. Isn't that amazing? And it's because you don't like somebody that they're friends with, like a fucking 5th grader.
Which by the way,
you say, I'm a different person now.
That sounds retarded.
Which by the way, like I said, I'm not even saying this in a mocking way. I do have to thank Johnny for inadvertently introducing me to Max. Had he not gone on like that hour-long rant on my show,
even if it had been like, because you talked to him and he just started talking about me. That's the story, right?
Yeah,
if it had been a 5-minute rant, you probably would have forgot about it. If it had been a 10-minute rant, you probably forgot about it. But the whole fucking show, he's just like this Max Sand guy, and you don't understand, and it's this conspiracy and all my friends, and you're just like, I thought you came to talk about books.
Yeah, I was a little. No, what it
we should do a watch party and watch that together.
What it was.
Not even watch.
Oh, I guess Rumble kicked Max out.
Rumble got Max. I'm sure they're gonna get me at some point.
Yeah, it doesn't cut off like it used to. No, but what's funny is, Johnny Fox brought at Max so much that I was just genuinely curious about
Did Johnny Fox man be lurking in the shadows, my brothers? He trying to take us down?
Well, as I was saying before you got booted, he brought it up so much that I was like, geez, who is this Max Sand? Who is this Max Sand guy? So then
that happens sometimes. It's not just him, right? That effect has met me a lot of people where it's like somebody gets obsessed with me. And literally, I think it's because the name does sound memorable. Because it'll be me and a bunch of other dudes sometimes, right? That fuck with somebody, and they'll be like Ian Freeman. I lived in his head, and 99% of what he was mad about was other people. But they get it in their head. They're like, Max Sand is the super hacker lurking in the shadows. He's everywhere.
You mean
and it's all because I make fun of them.
Yeah. Yeah. And Jesse's another one, right? Like, David Crocco.
Well, no, he really does lurk in the shadows everywhere, Sam. Potoff was always watching. You didn't know that?
Well, David Crocco once DM'd me and thought that Jesse was like trying to hack his bank account.
Yo, nothing but love for David Crocco, but yeah,
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, RIP, like nothing. nothing but respect. But like, yeah, like Jesse, the idea of Jesse like hacking
the moon base.
Yeah, the idea of Jesse hacking.
He's got like
Davey's
5
account.
keyboards, you know.
Just to mess with Mersh too. That was Davey's other thing. Is like, I was like, so why is Jesse hacking you, Dave? And he's like, oh, it's to mess with Mersh. And I'm like, well, why don't you just hack Mersh's bank account then? Why go after you? And Dave was like, oh yeah, I guess that would kind of
because Pod Awful's watching you.
Yeah. Well, no, Jesse actually he did do a few streams on Davey, so I think.
Yeah, no, Jesse's cool. That's the thing, though, is like there's 2 types of people on the internet that want like to do content. Okay, there's the type of people that will make fun of a motherfucker, and there's the type of people that can't be made fun of. You know what I'm saying? And you're either one or the other. If you're the type of motherfucker that'll make fun of a motherfucker, like myself, like you, when you get made fun of, you just laugh it off and make fun of a motherfucker.
Yeah.
When the other kind of motherfucker, the motherfucker who can't be made fun of, when you make fun of that motherfucker, he decides that the world is ending. And that he must do whatever in his power to motherfuck you before you motherfuck him in the motherfuck.
Right. Yeah, that
ow. That motherfucking hurt.
What? I just moved.
Fuck.
I just moved my screen over. I didn't mean to hit you.
I got hit by a.
Did you get?
How did this hurt? It says I love you and shit.
Well, you know, sometimes love hurts, Max.
That's suction cups. Hold on. Is my forehead flat enough to stick it? Let's see. No.
Do you see what you started, Maxine?
You know those things that used to pop inside out and then they pop up and flip? My dad stuck one of those to his forehead once and got a big circle on there and then blamed me and said I hit him something in the head.
Well, you hit him with it in the head.
I did not. He put that old thing on his forehead. He thought it would be funny until it got stuck.
I believe Bob.
Of course you do.
You wouldn't lie.
Yes, he would.
When?
All the time.
No.
Yeah, oh, come on.
Your dad was the most honest man.
Except when it came to me.
No, he would never fuck with anybody. I don't know what you mean.
Bullshit. You know my dad loved to fuck with me.
Whoa. I can make it like blow the brains out.
Don't pop it.
Of course.
Got that for me for Mother's Day.
Well, don't throw it at the back of my brain like a... It kind of like... There's these birds, Sam.
They go tweet.
What did you get in my coffee? She got pizza in my coffee, Sam.
I'm so sorry.
That's coffee abuse.
You know, that's an odd flavor combination, but it might work.
It bounced right off his head into the cup.
Epic.
Well, we kill a Johnny Fox man down till he finny, you know. Bust him in the head.
But no, like I said, I am at least glad that he was honest about
yeah, man. We've been appreciating his honesty, but he's still gonna, you know, we gotta hit the Johnny Fox man in the head, man.
Or Peaceful Pixels now, I guess.
Nah. We be smoke him like a blunt.
Which
it'll always be Johnny Fox.
which by the way, like,
he calls himself the author.
Yeah, that is
I've
pretty
sold
funny.
more copies of my list than he has of his books.
That's true.
It is wild, right?
Heck, at this point, Max, you could literally like just make a Word document with like all your lists and sell that. I'd buy it, and you would sell more books than.
Well, what I was doing is I got clips for every list, right? I'm gonna make a top 10 lists and then make it a compilation cut. We have more than 10 already. There's way more than 10 already. I should do that.
Yeah, well, and I've also I mean,
but I was kind of trying to make it so that there was enough of them with gay pornography being the number one answer that I could have a top 10 list where all the never mind. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, Hasan Piker is pretty gay.
That's right. See, watching this, that's why I justify Hasan Piker being number one today, because watching Hasan Piker is the same as gay pornography as far as I'm concerned. In terms of,
yes,
if you're the kind of person that watches this thing, we're probably not going to be good friends.
Well, and supporting terrorism and, you know, wanting to, I mean, it is awful, not making light of that, but it is also kind of, terrorism is gay.
Yeah, terrorism's super gay. There's nothing gayer than terrorism except being gay is way less gay.
Yeah, that's actually
terrorism is true. Like trans, if anything.
You're not even Man, lying.
We are never gonna be on Twitch, bro.
Good.
I just said terrorism is trans.
Good. I don't want Twitch's money.
That's right. We'll stay far away from the terrorists. In fact, I don't even think we should negotiate with terrorists, Sam.
Well, we're in the Trump era, so no, we don't have to negotiate.
That's right. I expect a full military invasion of Hasan Piker's house.
You know, you say that, but that might actually happen. Believe it or not. Like,
and I hope he's lying. Imagine, because I don't know if you've seen enough of his clips, you can picture his little room there, right? And it would be really funny if the cops came in because the angle of his camera shows basically everything. And then it would also be really funny, hypothetically, of course, Sam. See, I don't condone terrorism, but you know what I maybe have a bit more tolerance for? A little bit of police brutality in certain situations.
Well,
and maybe in this case, the LA cops where he live up to their famous reputation of beating motherfuckers' asses, and we get a good little show out of when he gets arrested for being a fucking terrorist piece of shit.
Well, this will never happen because he's retired. But you know
the Billy Club.
You know that Andrew Nelson is also. You know that Andrew Nelson is a gamer too, right? In addition to being an author. So I know he's retired, but in my mind, it would be funny if he came out of retirement to swat Hasan Piker just for one day.
Well, we'll see. We'll see where the story of Hasan, the lonely terrorist, goes. But I don't think it's going anywhere good. And I think it's really bad for fucking Twitch, which is why I wanted to make it a topic of discussion, Sam, because you're right. You're more in like political circles of talk. The gamer circles, Hasan and his crew is pretty much all the talk or the fact, and we should bring this up, that Asmongold has finally started streaming off of Twitch for the first time ever. He's multi-streaming on Kick and Twitch, and he confirmed that he didn't get any deal from Kick that was different than make him a partner. And also, it's been confirmed by others that Kick isn't giving out the big streamer deals anymore. And quite frankly, I would suggest to Rumble to stop doing that too.
Yeah.
You know why? Because multi-streaming is going to be where it's at for a lot of these big name streamers, and just having them on your platform is a net positive, and you don't have to pay them any extra money. They're going to want it because they're going to flood off of. I'm predicting, Sam, that no matter what happens with Twitch, you're going to see a flood of people go to other alternatives. A lot of them are going to immediately go to YouTube and get banned because they don't know how to follow YouTube rules. Some of them will bleed over to Kick, obviously. That's popular with a lot of the Twitch people. And some of them will inevitably come over to our humble little site Rumble and maybe even Odyssey. And that's good for everybody because I want people to be able to speak and not be censored. And that's the only way to do it, really.
I see a ton of
we multi-stream. We're always multi-streaming to both X and Odyssey, correct?
Yeah.
And locals, technically.
Yeah. And the Odyssey, the locals is my paywall page, even though we don't really do any paywall content.
Right. But theoretically, if somebody's behind there, they could watch the show there. So
yeah.
We're multi-streaming to 3 or 4 potential platforms, and that's while making what is considered to be Rumble content, right? They give you hours if you do that. We've always done that, right? And they count that. They understand that we're multi-streaming, but Rumble's our primary platform, and nobody has a problem with that. Rumble's never came to us, and I've never, in all the content I put up, and you guys can check what's in there. There's some wild stuff. Okay, I've said some wild stuff. Cringing over coffee. We've looked at people saying all kinds of stuff. I've looked at all kinds of things. Sam knows what I mean. It's pretty wild. It's pretty raw. It's pretty crazy. It's like the bottom of the internet sometimes. And yet, Rumble's never given me a single warning or anything because I don't do anything that's actually that insane for what you would consider in traditional media. I'm not any wilder than our show's not any wilder than Howard Stern's show. In fact, it's way less.
No, not at all.
We're a lot more tame than what you might see in a comedy club a lot of times. Just flat out, like normal entertainment used to be equally or more as safe, edgy as we are. And I don't see why we should be moderating ourselves when we're perfectly in line with the norm. It's just that the last 10 years, this woke shit has got everybody brainwashed like you can't speak. But time has fucking come for that to end. And hey, if you want to speak and support terrorists, well, there's consequences for that, quite frankly.
Well, that's the other thing I want to point out too, is like, I don't know, you guys, but like, I've hardly seen any Pride stuff this year so far.
Unfortunately, I've seen a little bit of it. Very disappointed in CDPR because they're still doing it. But
but like CDPR, as you explained to me a while ago, more like they did sign on with like that DEI.
I hate that fucking charter
thing for
right, but at some point it's like, oh well, just excuse. Like, I don't know. Here's my thing. It's very funny that they, over the course of 1 year, we pointed out that there was like 10% less Pride last year.
Yep.
Dude, there's 90% less Pride this year.
And it's fucking fantastic.
Yeah, it was hilarious how quickly that folded. There was a little less last year.
It was brought up to me, I think either last night or this morning, that USAID has gone away, and magically all of the fucking Pride shit's gone away.
You know what I don't want to go away, guys? There's a Biden era thing that I want to continue and maybe even magnify. Are you ready for it?
Go ahead.
Can we still do Juneteenth? Because that shit's dope.
Yeah, sure.
Well, like, I love Juneteenth, and like I want to point out that I saw a lot of conservatives get mad about Juneteenth. Like, don't do that.
Well, hold on though.
No, I have zero issue with Juneteenth.
Yeah.
Well, hold on though, Max. Juneteenth actually isn't even a Biden thing.
Well, but no, it got made a holiday under Biden, and I'm saying like a lot of people are like turning back on what they consider woke, and they're thinking that Juneteenth is woke. Juneteenth ain't woke, dude. It's the anniversary of when the slaves were freed. Why do you think black people find it like important day?
I'm not even arguing that. I'm just saying.
I'm not saying you are.
I'm not. What I'm actually saying is like, Trump was the first one to like, basically, he didn't propose Juneteenth, but like one of the guys who he met with, who was like a black activist, told him about Juneteenth, and Trump said, I think it's a really good idea. We ought to do that. So
okay, but Biden made it a federal holiday.
Yeah, well,
like don't take the one thing he did. I'm getting credit for. I mean, he didn't even do it because he auto-penned it, I'm sure. But like, that's all I'm saying is when Biden signed that into law, Sam, you can even go back around that time. We had an argument about it on this show that conservative commentators were saying it was woke, and I was kind of getting pissed off about it because they're so out of touch with black people. That's why they don't win over so many of them, Like the ones they do win over, it's just because the left is so fucking awful. It's not because the right explains themselves well or says the right things. It's just the left is so fucking awful that they're like, well, let's at least hear what they got to say. And if you really want to sell yourselves to black people, one of the things would be like, yeah, Juneteenth is awesome because it's a day that celebrates freedom. We should all celebrate it.
Yeah, agreed.
Go to a cookout, have some fun. And hey, with less Pride Month emphasis, it might even be more fun this year for a lot of people.
That'd be great.
Well,
yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what,
get you some fucking like soul food cooking or a big picnic in the park. That's a cookout, man. If you've never been to a Juneteenth party, you're missing out.
I will actually I actually won't be here for Juneteenth, which is a shame because there are some really good like Southern black-owned barbecue places here that do deals for June.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
18th, so
yeah, it's like that's what I'm saying. If there's gonna be less Pride Month shit, Juneteenth is probably gonna be pretty dope. I like that we're gonna keep that. It's a good one.
Well,
if Biden's the one that passed it, hey, that's one good thing among. It's also kind of a minor good thing because it's just celebrating a holiday versus all the awful things like the economy and the wars and stuff.
Yeah.
So giving him the one holiday.
Yeah, we can give him one win, sure.
His son's a crackhead, the corruption, the dicks in the butt. We were mentioning that, or lots of dick in Biden's butt. Just bang, 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 bang. In and out, Sam. All hours of the day. The White House was a mess.
Yeah, well, I mean...
By the way, this isn't when he was president. This is when he was vice president, and the dick belonged to Michelle.
Well, supposedly, like, Barack had a gay lover, too.
Well, yeah, that's why Michelle had to keep busy with Joe. Bend over, Joe. Pow, 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 pow. Now he got the fucking... Now he got the butt cancer.
Not even once.
It's very sad. I hope that the butt cancer gets better.
That reminds me of that Norm Macdonald joke. He didn't... The cancer didn't beat him. It was a draw.
Well, the cancer isn't beating him, Sam. But he did get beat to get all them dicks in his butt,
Yeah, that is.
And then that causes the cancer. So I guess the dicks beat him twice.
Yeah. Well, that'll happen.
Now I don't even. God damn it, I'm getting hit. I'm getting pelted with cute little squishy motherfuckers.
Speaking of, speaking of Gay Pride Month and whatnot, I figured if we are going to acknowledge it, we ought to
burn a pride flag. I thought you'd never ask.
Well, we should do that, but we should also, who better to talk about, gay? Who better to talk about gay pride than
Johnny Fox? Oh no, you were gonna say somebody else.
Well, no, someone who was actually funny, and that would be Norm Macdonald.
But not somebody who's actually gay.
Well, Norm was a deeply closeted.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Johnny's
but he wasn't gay.
No.
Right.
I mean, anyone who allegedly hooked up with Al McPherson, I mean, that's not gay at all. That's the opposite.
Who is that?
Some dude.
Hot actress.
Oh, okay.
But let's see.
Sam's like, how do you not know that? I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
Have you ever done anything in your long and storied career that you consider specifically to be in bad taste as you look back on it? Maybe at the time you thought it was a good play, but you look back on it and you think that was in bad taste.
Well, sometimes, like in stand-up, I'll do jokes that are like one time I was doing this thing in San Francisco and they were all gay people in the audience. They told me, so I figured I'll
in
do
San Francisco.
Yeah.
No.
So I figured I'd do stuff about gay people so that they could relate to it.
Yeah, it's warm up. They love that.
And so I was talking about because I went to this gay pride parade. And I saw in it there were these old men and old ladies like with these signs that said, "We are proud of our gay son," And so I was saying that's an odd thing to be proud of, because it's not an achievement, It's not like something you work all your life to be gay or anything like that. And I just wondered. I had a hard time believing that these 50, 60-year-old men are actually bragging, at work like they're, "Hey, Bill, my kid, oh my God, we're proud of him, Johnny. He graduated from Harvard, a first in his class, you know what I mean? Now he's articling over at a law firm, and oh yeah, he loves cock." This kid, he can't get enough cock in his mouth, his ass. This kid's always cock. I got a picture of the boy here sucking another man's cock. I want to show it to you.
To watch the maturation of you as an artist, to realize it took you 9.5 minutes to get around to the sucking cock stuff. It's beautiful to see you comfortable in your own skin, Normie. All right.
So yeah, that's my acknowledgement of Gay Pride for the month. You're welcome, folks. So
what, the bit about sucking lots of cock?
Yep.
Yeah, from Norm.
I'll tell you, that would be the biggest stunt. Is like to protest Pride Parade. Sam is gonna suck 49 cocks.
Not at all. I'm not that OnlyFans hoe. That's
I would say if we're going for some sort of record,
I know you're not doing it for the money though. You're just doing it for the cause.
Not at all, sir.
Doing it for the enjoyment.
Not
can't get one by him. He's like, no,
you.
Okay. Well, we'll whittle the number down to like 45 or something more manageable. We'll talk.
No, the answer is 0. So, let's see.
What if it's really small?
Still Well, hey,
this guy Johnny Fox, right? Never mind.
Micropene.
Well, I mean, listen, I might pity Johnny Fox, but the answer is still no.
Oof.
You can't unsuck a cock.
He just got gay rejected by Sam. That's gotta hurt.
He got gay rejected by a cripple.
That's right.
He got gay
Not even
rejected.
a pity fuck Johnny Fox. You hear that?
Well, I mean, I'm too
We're,
straight.
we're not a girl from the Discord.
I don't think it matters if you're straight or not, because I feel like the answer, even if you're gay, is the same, right?
Yeah.
Right.
This is Johnny Fox.
And we didn't meet in this Discord.
Do you think he'd have guys breaking down his door either?
Maybe if they're desperate.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Gay guys will probably have better standards than that.
Oh, are
would hope.
Are you kidding me? Gay guys, from what I've heard, like they have impossible standards. So,
what about?
I doubt it, because then there'd be none of them.
What about gay crackheads?
That's true. Gay crackheads will suck it, but they're not. Is it really gay to suck a dick just because you're a crackhead? I don't think they think about it sexually. I think they think about money.
So
you can't
like gay for pay.
Okay, so I got you then. So we can hook Johnny Fox up with Hunter Biden then. I got it.
There you go.
We have
I don't know though. Hunter likes some young. One thing I'll say about Johnny Fox is he doesn't like him young. You know, thank God, because if I had to deal with him being a pedophile too, I would probably like do things that would get me arrested if I say out loud.
Yeah.
You know. But instead, he's just a massive goofball, but he wants to try and fuck with my homie's fucking writing career. Anyway, Sam, I had this new idea I was bandying about. I didn't really get to talk to you about. I want to do a show where I review sort of controversial, disturbing, what have you, independent art, right? Albums, movies, and such.
Yeah.
It's going to be called Max Zan Presents DIE, Die.
Well, I like it.
Disturbing independent entertainment.
Ooh, I really like it.
Yeah, and so I was thinking about doing one tomorrow and covering Isham, who's one of my favorite artists, and sort of look at his career and review some of his albums and things and talk about it. And that's what I want to do, is I want to highlight people who have pioneered in some form of independent art that's a bit outside the mainstream and maybe even controversial. Be looking at, I've already got some video games lined up, like Hatred is going to be in there. Movies, documentaries,
the
albums.
list, most of it.
Yeah.
Max Zan Presents Die tomorrow. Presumably, although I might just do a cringing over coffee Johnny Fox now. This motherfucker.
Well, hold on.
Double feature.
Are you sure you can put that together in less than 24 hours? You might need more prep time for that, or maybe not. Maybe not. You know what you're doing. So,
I don't need much prep time to ride on these hoes, Sam.
Well, Johnny Fox is a hoe, so that is.
You fuck with my homie. You fuck with his money. Ain't good.
Not at all. By the way, big shout out to Kindle Unlimited. Anyone who's subscribed over there, digital copies. Who a lot of people prefer to buy the books hardcover, which I appreciate. But for anyone who is subscribed to Kindle Unlimited to read the books on Kindle, I got like my largest readership on Kindle Unlimited last month. So
Congrats.
Congrats.
So I don't know anyone by name who is subscribed to Kindle Unlimited, but if you are, thanks for checking the books out. Appreciate it. So
hell yeah.
Also,
Shout out again to the men's adventure fiction guys. Those are pretty awesome. And
yeah. Also, I think Mort commented. Shout out to Jake Widmer, who is who's released not one, not two, but 3 books in like the span of just like 3 months. That guy is coming out with like a book a month practically at this rate.
Yeah. Bro's cooking. What can you say?
He is, and you know, I did want to clarify that I always pre-record the Monday show beforehand mostly, because some people were wondering why I didn't cover the terror attack.
Yeah, if you didn't get your fill of the terror attack tonight, I don't know what to tell you, but that's why he didn't do it on Monday, because that shit was already in the can.
Yeah. So
we can't just know when a fucking terror attack's gonna happen, guys.
Right. Well, there were some people who maybe thought it was live because it was streaming on Rumble, but yeah, no, I always pre-record the Monday.
Yeah, and I definitely think that the people that wanted some talk about that got quite a bit tonight. So, again, we here, Right to Offend Media and the Whitfield Report, condemn acts of terrorism, especially on U.S. soil.
As do we at Bits and Bones.
Yeah, it's like, it's so easy, right?
Yeah,
it's not terrorism that I support. No.
I will say though, we support the guys we support the men and women who fight terrorism. We've had a lot of them on the show.
We support victims.
Yeah,
we support victims of war. By the way, on the Palestinian side as much as anything. Just because I hate Hasan doesn't mean I don't care that there's children being affected by this conflict on both sides. And they hate it. He's one of those guys, Sam, that he's like, oh, you're both sidesing. I don't fucking care. If that's a bad thing that you could care about one side and only you can only care about one side. It's a bad thing to care about both sides. Fuck you.
Well, and also
it's just ingenuous propagandist bullshit.
Well, and also I do want to acknowledge the people in Gaza who have spoken out against Hamas under fear of, losing their lives. Although I imagine for some of them, they're speaking out because they're like, I might die.
He wants them all conflated with the terror group. That's what it is. That's why that's his angle. See, he wants to make it so when you think of the women and children and just the regular people of Gaza, you also conflate that with Hamas. Right?
Yeah.
But that's not necessarily the case now as much as ever. That they're suffering. There's a war going on.
No.
Look, my heart goes out to any mother that's dealing with a war zone with her fucking children. Are you kidding me? Doesn't matter what side they're on. Doesn't matter to me. I'm anti-war universally. So it's real easy when you come from a perspective of not being tainted by extremism to denounce acts of terroristic violence. The fact that anybody has to take the brave, bold stance of saying terrorism bad is insane to me.
Oh, and by the way, for those who are wondering, because I know this question is going to be asked of me, if not tonight, tomorrow, but I haven't watched Ben Shapiro's take on this only because I don't really.
He's probably just as extreme as Hasan in the other direction.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Is he's the anti Hasan, in the sense that he takes the exact opposite approach. And
bro, the average American takes the approach of that shit is over there. And when you start killing people over here, even Hasan got it with the firebomb attack. They start to blame the side that's doing it, not both sides. Like, not the other side. They're not going to blame Israel because Palestinian extremists killed people.
Right. Well, not and like I said, you know, the media is kind of mislabeling this group as like the group that got attacked as like a pro-Israel protest group, but no, they
doesn't matter. You're allowed to be a pro-Israel group, and you're allowed to be a protest group. You're not allowed to firebomb people.
No, I absolutely I agree with that. I'm just saying that like the media can't even get that right because they were just
because they have an agenda.
Right, yeah.
That by saying it like that, they have equated Zionist or pro-Israel with genocider, with bad, with Nazi. They're still dog whistling that it's okay to do this when they say that.
Of course.
Right.
And I don't agree. It's not okay to do this. It's not okay to firebomb anybody. It's not okay to shoot people. And I don't care what your fucking political ideology is. And a fucking sane regime in this fucking country of law enforcement would put these people in jail.
Well, I have a feeling that Hasan is going to get raided by the FBI.
I don't know. I thought that before, and you know, the people I said it about before was Ian Freeman. Where's he? Oh, he's in federal jail. And Chris Cantwell. And where's he? Well, he did a stint in federal jail. Now he's in the local county jail. And I'm telling you, Hasan is treading the same path as them, only from the left. And if that's where it ends, bro, is you're broke and you're in fucking jail. If you're lucky, you get out of jail and you got nothing. That's what promoting terrorism gets you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also, I want to point out those people also got sued because of Charlottesville, and they owe millions of dollars in damages too. That's what promoting terrorism gets you. We've seen it happen where there's fringe elements of the right that hated Jews got together and did that at Charlottesville. A woman got killed, and they lost the lawsuit about it. Right now, we're seeing a rise of radical anti-fucking Jew left. They're promoting terrorism, and I'm telling you where it ends. It ends with them fuckers in prison, or it ends with our society in complete chaos. You have to stop this shit because of the acceptability of terrorism creates a society where which people could just do that. And I don't want to take my son out to the park and be a part of a fucking terror attack, okay? And so the people promoting that shit need to be locked the fuck up.
And they will. Like I said, thank God. Like I said, thank God Trump is in the White House, because I have a feeling that like we're not going to be getting in like hidden manifestos or anything like that.
No, I'll tell you what I saw, Sam. I saw a fat sack of shit in with his shirt off, thinking like he's I'm throwing Molotovs with my shirt off. I don't care if he about to throw Molotovs. You think I wasn't about to rush his ass if it was me there?
I know. I know you.
I'll beat him to death.
Why? I know
like that.
I know people who would have just shot him, and you know.
Well, it's Boulder, Colorado, so they probably don't have any guns.
Yeah, but that is true. But I know, you know, you go a little farther up north into like Greeley and places. You don't think those people? That's
why he was in Boulder, isn't it?
Yeah.
So. Isn't it convenient also that they, even when they're not shooting, they choose places where they're not likely to run up against anyone with a gun? But, you know, in a case like that, see, he didn't have a gun, so I wouldn't have fucking hesitated for 1 second to rush his ass.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the thing. And by the way, that needs to be a response. If there's going to be people who engage in random acts of violence in public, the response from men in this country needs to be to fucking rush that motherfucker. Because law enforcement ain't stopping it. They come afterwards and pick up the fucking pieces. So who is? If we don't have men protecting the innocent in our own fucking country, then why would I even, like, that's the thing, Sam, is, you know, I'm anti-war, right? But when it really comes down to it, if there's fucking bloodshed in the streets of my own country, that matters to me more than anything.
You're anti-war, but you're not a pushover either. And I think people kind of, unfortunately, kind of conflate the two sometimes.
Right.
And that's That's not the case at all.
Well, and in this case, when you can cry about your fucking Israel or Palestine, what do I really care about now? Well, a couple weeks ago, you could have cried about Israel or Palestine and I would hear you out. And generally, I found the Israeli case much more persuading. Now, my first question is, what do you think about the terror attacks that happened in America on American soil to American citizens? Because if your response is anything but that's the worst thing ever, fuck you. I don't care about your cause. Because my cause is my fellow Americans and America and making this place better and safe and a place where I want my kid to grow up. And that terrorism, random acts of violence is the bane of civilization. You think I don't get mad about shit and want to enact my will through violence? Sometimes every man does at some point. You want to punch a motherfucker in the face so he does what you want. And probably, I would assume even you guys, you might be in a wheelchair, but you're still men. And so I imagine you get angry sometimes. And you fucking physically impose your will on somebody else. You don't.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Because we live in a civilized fucking society and we know that it's not worth crossing that fucking line. So if there's motherfuckers crossing that line, it is incumbent upon us to stop it. Because if we don't stop it, the best we can, in any way we can, you guys can speak out. I'm not saying you got to rush a fucking guy, man. I get it. But I should be, right? I'm a big physically fit man and I see that and I'm thinking if I was at that fucking rally and I'm watching this guy walk around with his 2 bottles in his fucking hand like he's a tough guy, I'm going to run over. First of all, I'm going to kick him in the nuts just to make sure that it ain't even a fair fight.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'm going to fucking take him down. And if I get a Molotov thrown at me on the fucking way over, so be it. But it's worth that to not live in a world where I am terrified that will happen.
Well, that's why I'm saying I hope that Colorado votes out the fucking piece of shit governor who's, trying.
Does Colorado have the death penalty, Sam?
They did. I don't. Let me Google that
because I am first and foremost. Let me be clear. I am in favor of the death penalty for the DC shooter, and I am in favor of the death penalty for the firebomber in Boulder. I believe that they should both be put to death after a fair trial. And I think anything less than that is not justice.
Agreed.
It's not even an eye for an eye. And I don't, even if nobody died in the firebomb attack, I still think it warrants the death penalty.
Motherfuckers. No, Colorado does not have the death penalty. In 2020,
that's okay because it's still terrorism. And so the federal government has the death penalty.
Well, good.
Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, like, if you don't give the terrorists the death penalty, we still need to kill the Boston Marathon shooter. By the way, if I'm a little biased, it's because, hey, motherfuckers, I'm from Massachusetts, okay? And there's this little thing that's been affected in our community. Have you heard of it? It's called radical Islamic terror attacks. There were 2 major ones that stemmed from fucking Boston, okay? One was fucking Boston bombing, and the other one, what was the other one, Sam?
The other
9/11.
Oh yeah,
everybody thinks in New York City, but every single plane came from Boston.
Yep.
Well, one of them came from Florida, where I'm at actually.
That would be the one that crashed in the field, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the other 3 that all crashed into buildings came from Logan Airport in Boston. And I actually knew, like, a kid I went to school with and was in video class with a friend of mine. We called him BJ. He had his instructor was the pilot on one of the fucking flights that hit the Twin Towers. So we've had a little brush or two with Islamic extremist terrorism here, Sam. And the reason for that is because we have all these universities. And where do you think the Boston bombers came from? They got university scholarships.
Yep, which is why Trump is saying we need to crack down on that shit. And he's absolutely right. So,
and that's why I'll put him in there, because there's another example of Islamic extremist terrorism on American soil, right? Right under the government's nose. That motherfucker's still alive. I'm so glad he ran over his brother, though. That's the funniest thing ever. Oh, I hope it hurts so bad. Oh, I hope he has nightmares of running his brother over. Because people have nightmares of the bombs blowing little girls' legs off still. So I hope it really bothers Sarnav in his fucking cell, that terrorist piece of shit, and these other two terrorist pieces of shit. But it doesn't seem to bother any of them at all because they're Islamic extremists. And so, yeah, we got to kind of confront that fucking problem, in my opinion. I don't want to live in a world where these kind of attacks happen. And the only way to do that is not to fucking sit there and tolerate motherfuckers like Hasan who think it's fucking funny.
No, Hasan's a vile piece of shit, and I never made much attention to him.
He's a vile piece of shit for supporting him.
Yeah, fuck Twitch.
Shout out to our friends who are on Twitch. I'm not trying to fucking ruin their fucking life or nothing. Man, did Core work really hard to get partner on Twitch. That's why he doesn't just leave. People will say, well, but you talk about how tough it is for him over there. Why doesn't he just leave? Because he worked hard for years to get partner. That's it.
Yeah.
But, it just sucks. It sucks when you're that guy because he doesn't agree with any of this shit. And he's afraid to talk about it because he don't want to get banned.
Of course not. Well, I mean, I know Core's not really active these days, but he is part of the RTO family, so
Well, sure he is. He streams all the time. You should come over and fucking check out his stream sometime.
What I'm saying is he would, he should multi-stream here. I bet you
well, that's the problem. Twitch's deals and these other sites' deals that they have for certain partners requires you only to be exclusive. Like, you notice, as long as we use Rumble Studio, they don't care where the stream actually goes.
Right.
That's not true of Twitch.
Yeah, well, except for the premium content.
Right. But I'm just trying,
right.
Twitch works differently, is what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, no, I got that. Yeah, no, that again,
it's an actual exclusivity deal. So you can maybe upload VODs to YouTube or something after the fact, but you cannot live stream on other platforms.
Yeah, no, I gotcha. Which is,
or here's another one. The Rumble deal that we have just says that you're going to get your hours through Rumble Studio, right? But if you also streamed somewhere else completely and didn't stream on Rumble at all, they don't care.
Right.
The Twitch deal is exclusive. You have to stream on Twitch, and if you're streaming somewhere else, you're violating your deal.
Right.
And multi-streaming is violating the deal as well. Now, Asmongold doesn't have one of those deals, and some of these other guys that are multi-streaming don't have those deals.
Yeah,
and also they have large enough audiences that follow them that it's beneficial to them to do that. But like I say, if you're a small creator on Twitch and you caught that discoverability, which is so hard, it's tough to just walk away from it.
I'm not saying it is. All I'm saying, Max, is that if Core did in fact decide to leave, I bet you he could build up an audience here for sure.
There's various reasons that I'd rather not even go down that road of talking about it, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Like I said, I'm just laying out, a hypothetical. So
I got you.
But anyway, speaking of gaming, more Bits and Bones this Friday.
Bits and Bones this Friday night. We got a special guest, Maxine Sand. Going to talk a little bit of Sims 4 shenanigans and the mod scene, and got a bunch of other stuff. Could possibly get into the Hasan Piker situation again. And we got an update.
I'm sure he'll say something stupid between today and Friday.
Oh yeah.
Well, and then Well, and then it's funny that I did a James Bond rant on the show last week.
Before you get into that, and we are going to have a little bit of a follow-up Witcher rant as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, which I did see the, just kind of as a teaser to that, I did see the, the quote-unquote preview that they dropped yesterday.
Are we going to get that review of Battle Raper?
Never.
No, nobody here is playing that, but
could not pay me enough.
Well, you know what's funny, guys, is the reason I was looking at the banned Twitch games list is because I thought it was very funny that the game Maxine played, Honey Pop, is on that list.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's like a little dating game or whatever with like, oh my god, saucy photos.
Oh no.
There's not even any like nipples.
That's gay.
Yeah,
I guess there's a mod you can download that has like uncensored pictures, but the game as you buy it on Steam, it's just kind of mildly saucy pictures with no boobs.
That's dumb. But you were saying something about 007 there, Sammy?
Yeah, so I'm not even kidding. When that trailer dropped today, everyone sent me that link all at once, and my phone literally like reset it. Did the thing where I guess it respringed. I will be reacting to that on Friday, kind of as a follow-up to my James Bond rant from last week. And Maxine will be joining us to talk about The Sims 4 Unmodded, which should be fun. The unmodded DEI stuff, rather.
The mod is called DEI Remover that's being discussed, which, by the way, she doesn't use mods.
Right.
Although that one, I can't say that when I explained it to her, it didn't interest her a little bit.
Right, and that's kind of why I wanted, when I heard about the mod, I was like, perfect, because I've been trying to figure out a way to get Maxine on the show.
Well, she said she's definitely sure she has something to say.
And then I figured she would. Like as soon as this topic hit my feed, I was like, this is the perfect chance for me to get Maxine on the show.
So we'll have that. We'll have Bond, and then we'll have The Witcher 4, which I'm sure we'll have a rant about that.
Actually, surprisingly, I'm not as heated as people probably expect me to be.
Well, that'll be even more interesting then.
And Andrew Tate still won't fight me.
Of course not.
Because he's a massive bald pussy.
Facts.
Yeah.
Man, imagine being a bald pussy, Sam.
You can be bald or you can be a pussy, but you can't be both.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of like you only really respect a bald guy who's kind of a badass, huh?
Facts.
That is true. So,
we know some badass bald guys, right? Badass bald guys are great. They're usually the coolest guy you know.
Oh, yeah.
It's just when you're a bald guy and he's a massive pussy. That combination is the worst. Usually they're fat, too. Oh, God. Am I just talking about Johnny Fox again? God damn it. Let's move on.
No, I thought you were talking about Royce Lopez from.
Well, we could talk about a lot. Like Mersh is a fat bald pussy. Royce is a fat bald pussy. Johnny Fox is a fat bald pussy. Chris Cantwell is a fat bald pussy. Rich from Free Talk Live is a bald fat pussy. DSP is a full bald fat pussy. PPP is a bald fat pussy. He's got hair. He's got hair, but that's because he's in his 20s. He will he has the essence in him of baldness. Yeah. So right now he's just a fat pussy, but eventually PPP will become a bald fat pussy.
the thing about PPP is he's younger than me, but he already looks old. He looks older than me by like 5 years.
He looks older than me, bro.
He looks like he ate both of you.
Facts.
Yeah. Yeah, well that's I mean, I'm skin. Mort and I are both skin and bones. You know, I know I am at least. So
see, there's all these motherfuckers that'll like talk bad shit about beating their ass, and then there's PPP, right? Because like nobody, like who's gonna fight that big fat fuck, right? It's like fighting it's like fighting a child or something.
Well, PPP would get winded.
That's like fighting Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
That's right. If you can't run a mile, I can't really fight you and feel good about it, you know?
PPP might get winded and pass out like traveling to the fight.
Same reason I couldn't feel good about beating you guys up, right? Is like you literally cannot run a mile, so it seems kind of unfair to beat you up.
Right, but I feel like
and I'd be an asshole and I'd dramatically fall out of the wheelchair just to make you feel even worse.
See, Sam wouldn't, because Sam would play like he's a tough guy, but they're the one I'd be worried about, because you'd make me look like the biggest asshole in the world.
Facts.
Yeah.
Sam would be like, I'm fine. You didn't hurt at all. Mort's like, oh God, I think I need an ambulance. Why did you do that to me, sir? And
I think I'm gonna die again.
I would be the guy. I would be the guy being like, "I'm fine. 'Tis merely a flesh wound. Yeah. Well, my entire
That's as bad as I look beating up PPP, though, right? Like beating up a big fat guy is like beating up a newborn baby or something. You know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of like not fair.
They can't even get their arms around their front.
Yeah, like that's why, like I mentioned before, is like my wife mentioned she had this one ex, and I said like he was a big fat guy. That's the only reason I didn't kick his ass that one day. Is because he was a fat guy.
Yeah.
Right, and it's like everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, poor fat guy, poor fatso," because they do. I know, especially women, man. A fat guy doesn't get as much sympathy from women at any point in his life unless he gets beat up.
That is true.
And then even then, it's like beating up a stupid baby. Come on, he's a fat guy. What did you do that for? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure beating up fat guys would actually get more sympathy in some cases than beating up a crippled guy.
That's right. So I can't beat up PPP.
Right.
But I feel like he needs somebody to beat him up. So could we find a guy that's equally as fat as him to fight him? Because I'm not going to gain like 300 pounds.
Boogie.
Maybe Boogie.
Boogie's not going to win a fight. We need somebody who could win a fight.
Find Wings, because he beat Boogie.
True. I guess I have to beat PPP up, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
I am technically still super heavyweight. I'm clocked in at 234 right now.
Yeah, but the thing of it is, Max, is you're too fit. So again.
Yeah, and then it's just me beating up a fat retard. You know.
You literally run circles around the fat retard.
That's it. How do you think you beat a fat guy in a fucking fight? You just walk around. Don't run. You ain't gonna run. They're fat. You just walk at a brisk pace. They're gonna get winded.
Yeah.
And you make trumpet. You make tuba sounds at them while they do it. You know, and you run away.
Yeah.
That's how I would fight PPP. By the way, everybody, you're welcome for the visual. You know, it's like ding, ding, ding. I'm gonna walk up. I'm gonna punch him in the face, right? With a warning. That's a warning shot, and I'm gonna go around the edge of the ring, making him chase me until he gets tired, and I'm gonna walk over and I'm gonna start punching him in the face until he falls down.
And he's trying to throw punches, but he has no stamina.
Yeah,
so
he's like, and he's all fat and retarded and out of breath and stupid and ugly. That'd be great.
Yeah.
And that means fat, Sam. PPP is very fat.
Yeah. And on that note, I think that's a good way to end the show. It's been like 3 hours, so what a way to end the show by bashing PPB. So we've got
about the head, face, chest, neck, and backside.
We've got
We're gonna bash him.
We've got die. We've got the die stream tomorrow with Max, or maybe a Cringe Coffee House. Not sure yet. We've got Bits and Bones on Friday, and then Sandwich Makers on Sandwich Makers on Saturday.
We're talking about wrestling, Sam.
Ooh, nice.
AAA versus NXT, Money in the Bank. Probably not anything else, because that's the important. The AEW exists, and we'll probably say how it's stupid.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we've already heard people are like, "Oh, you guys are reviewing wrestling. You should review AEW." No, just flat out no. I don't care. No, we're not watching it. Every time I turn that trash on, it's trash.
Well, AEW is still doing Pride stuff, so no thanks.
Even without that, I say no. Wow, that makes it worse.
Yeah.
There we go. Hard no on the AEW review, but if you want to check us watching, I'm hyped, Sam, because the fucking luchas. Did you know that I'm a connoisseur of Mexican wrestling?
I did.
Yeah. That's just dope. So I'm excited to see Psycho Clown's gonna be there. Fucking El Hijo del Vikingo is a mega AAA champ. He's gonna face Chad Gable. That's gonna be sick, bro. There's gonna be women's matches. There's gonna be luchas. It's gonna be crazy. And then Money in the Bank. The women's Money in the Bank ladder match is gonna be a fun watch. Probably more fun than the men's. It's pretty competitive, is what I'm saying. So yeah, that's Sandwich Makers.
Awesome. So, and then I'm not sure about Monday's show yet. I've got a few guests who I might be. I don't have any guests booked officially, but I will announce who it is hopefully by Friday. So stay tuned. And until then, take care. God bless. Prayers to the victims of the terror attack. Don't do terrorism because that's gay. I think that's kind of the message of tonight's stream. Also, fuck Twitch.
Twitch. Get your shit together.
Fuck Twitch. Fuck Hasan Piker.
Yep. And with that, folks, I'll see you next week.
The right to offend is not some pesky little part of freedom of speech that we have to put up with. It is the heart and soul and lungs of freedom of speech. It is the coursing lifeblood of human progress. It is the instigator of liberty and modernity and science and understanding. What a laughing stock today's student leaders are, that they can so casually dismiss the right to be offensive without realizing that their lovely, enlightened lives are the gift of individuals who gave offense. Offensiveness is not just something we have to begrudgingly accept. Offensiveness is the motor of human progress.
Thank you for watching the Whitfield Report live on the Right to Offend Media Network. Make sure to check out Sam's books on Amazon, Audible, and Kindle. You can follow Sam on X at SamW_NGC and the Right to Offend Media Network at RTO Media. Like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends. And until next time, God bless, God save this great nation. God, freedom, legacy, in that order.